Hello everybody, Groundback here, and I'm with Convex and Atlas again. And today we'll be doing a ranking of our favorite versions of each of the kaiju. Yeah, that's the list. I don't really have much else to say. Convex, make a funny joke.
Funny joke.
I said make a funny joke, don't say... I'm just gonna go get into it. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, I don't care
Yeah,
if
I'm
Convex
ready.
is ready. We're just gonna get into it. So, tiers should be self-explanatory. So, starting with the first one, the Big G. Yeah, which version of the character you guys personally the most attached to?
For me it's Final Wars.
I'll let Convex go first, and then
Alright.
Yeah, for me it's Final Wars, because,
what's
it called?
Yeah. Because you grew up with it and you watched the movie the most?
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is...
Yeah, Alice?
The version of Godzilla that I think I'm closest attached to is actually, Bio-Goji. I grew up watching Cinemassacre's Godzilla-thon with James Roll, angry video game nerd. And I would always go back to his video of Godzilla vs. Biollante. And I would be so interested in that movie because it's the one movie that I never saw, that I never owned. At the time, I was a kid, so I didn't know anything about pirating movies or, shit like that. And then I think for the first time I want to say 13 when I watched it. I bought the Miramax version of the movie. They just had it, and I was like, oh my god, Godzilla vs. Biollante. This is the one movie I haven't seen. And then I watched it, and there's just something about that gritty, dark, kind of 90s movie tone that had, a lot of, implications and subtext to it that just made the movie so good to me. I loved it. I loved the tone, the atmosphere. Godzilla looks great, and Biollante looks absolutely amazing.
You hear this, Convex? He really said 90s tone when the movie came out in 1989.
You understand what I mean.
Yeah, you're lying.
Huh?
You lied. You're lying about all of it.
No, he said it had a 90s tone. He never said that it was made in the 90s.
But how can it have a 90s tone if the 90s tone wasn't invented yet? Wow, you
because that was right at the start of the 90s.
I don't know why I decided to start the video being so dumb already.
You decided to cause conflict.
Okay, let me explain it like this. It had that early grittiness to it, where every scene was, I don't know, it just had that grungy kind of texture to it. Every scene was dark and kind of obscure a little bit. If that's does that make sense?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's you pretty much summed up the movie perfectly. And your story with Godzilla's Biollante is very similar to one of the stories I have with another of the Heisei movies, or more particular one, the Kaiju. But I think I'll go over that once we get to that Kaiju. So, yeah.
Ominous.
So, as for me it's really hard. Because I mainly grew up watching the Showa and Millennium films with a few Heisei films. So the ones that are the most nostalgic.
I think we all kind of shared the same experience because post 2004, those were the movies that were the most available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what the ironic part is, though?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the ironic part is, even though, like,
Oh,
Comics and I only really grew up with the Showa and Millennium films, the only, like, series that we have in its entirety in physical DVD is the Heisei one.
Really?
Yeah. It's pretty ironic, huh?
I think I have most, if not all, of the Showa films. No, I do not. I'm missing... Actually, no, I do have it now. I have the entire Showa film, the entire Showa series on DVD and VHS.
Oh.
I went to a Comic-Con this past... It was either this past weekend or the weekend before. I went to a Comic-Con that was happening in town, and I picked up a bunch of VHS tapes. And the only films I was missing from the Showa series was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and Godzilla vs. Megalon, which I have on VHS now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
the only Heisei film I'm missing...
Which one?
You go ahead, Convex.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say what's
Hello?
it called? I'm not. I can't really speak for. Wait, can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you. And, like, I know which ones we're missing, by the way, like, which Showa films. We're missing, like...
Oh yeah, what's it called?
Like, half of them, actually.
Godzilla vs. Hedorah and Gigan.
Well, no, we're missing one more than just those
Oh no,
two.
I'm just talking about the ones that... Oh yeah, I know we're missing more, like, the physical copies. I'm just saying the ones that we haven't seen.
No, I've
are,
seen Gigan. Yeah, I've seen Gigan.
Oh, you've seen Gigan?
Yeah, that was
yeah. Right, you've seen
that was one of the first ones I saw. I saw that one before you were born. Haven't seen it since,
okay,
but yeah.
I forgot about that.
The fact Groundbacks has seen Godzilla vs. Gigan makes me just say, I'm sorry.
You know what's weird?
That is
like,
the worst. That is the worst film.
I mean, it has Anguirus, so that sort of evens it out, but... Yeah,
It seems like it has some, like, fun and wacky fight scenes, and, like, besides that, it's a bad film.
No, not really. Like, it has, like... Obviously, it has, like, the standout moments, like the times where Gigan makes Anguirus and Ghidorah bleed. But other than, like, those moments, it's kind of bland.
He doesn't make Ghidorah bleed. He makes Godzilla bleed.
No, he makes Anguirus bleed. Remember when Anguirus Rudy charged in the Gigan's buzzsaw?
I was saying he doesn't make Ghidorah bleed. He makes Godzilla bleed.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. When he made Godzilla bleed.
Dumbass.
Well, also I thought about it a little bit more. And if I had to choose one Godzilla...
Once again, Atlas being a toxic Godzilla fan. The trope is true.
Absolutely. If I had to choose one Godzilla, though, I think for me it would also be Final Wars. Because I have memories of, like, getting that DVD and seeing it for the first time, like, only, like, a few, like, weeks before comic books was actually born. Like, yeah, so it's, like, really memorable just for that alone.
Well, you know, this is a 2 against 1. Diplomacy wins out. I guess we can put Final Wars in S tier.
For the others, like, we can, like, I'll come to agreement. So, like, when we, like, talk about favorite Ghidorahs or whatnot...
Oh, well, okay, so one thing, I actually do have a question.
Yeah.
In our personal favorite, in the tier that's our personal favorites, I was thinking we should only have, like, our legitimate favorite monsters.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Actually, since for the top one, like, our personal favorites, that one's gonna be pretty small. Do we just want to, like, so for, like, our favorites, which I'm just gonna spoil you guys right now, that's gonna be Godzilla, Anguirus, Gigan, and Manda. Do you want to, like, put, like, the, like, bio, like, Goji there as well? Since it's literally going to be our favorites.
I don't think it would be necessary. Also, our personal favorites tier is going to be bigger than you think. So what I was thinking was scroll up. I was thinking we should use the S tier or like Godzilla, and like where we like them, but they're not our favorite kaiju, if that makes sense.
Then what's A?
A is A tier.
A is A tier. It's just
I mean, it's
A.
as simple as that. We like them, but they're not our favorites.
I mean, for me, like my personal favorites is literally just comprises of Anger's and Godzilla exactly.
Oh, okay. Well, if Godzilla's your personal favorite, then
But yeah, like, even though I love Anger's, if I had to choose the only Anger's or Godzilla, I would choose Godzilla. Even though my channel is, what would I change my channel name to if I couldn't use Anger's anymore? Maybe I still use it, but like my mascot uses the Garchomp. I don't know. Let's just get to Ghidorah, and he's the one I have the funny story for. Whenever like a funny story, but like, yeah. So like this dude in particular, Mecha King Ghidorah, like convicts. I don't think you know about this either. Do you guys want to know about my history of Mecha King Ghidorah?
Oh, one thing I also should say is when it comes to forms like Mecha King Ghidorah or like Fire Rodan, I personally consider those two separate characters since they're trademarked as such.
I guess, but like Mecha King Ghidorah is basically just Heisei Ghidorah.
Yeah, like as far as I'm concerned, like even though they're trademarked differently, Mecha King Ghidorah, Fire Rodan are canonically the same characters, just with like upgrades. So like if you're talking about like which character you're the most attached to, I think it should just be treated as like just another Ghidorah incarnation instead of like a different entity altogether.
I mean, I don't know. It's basically a dead Ghidorah that's piloted as a robot.
Keyword Ghidorah. It's still a Ghidorah.
Oh yeah, but Monster X is also a separate character, and we're not counting him here.
But no, Monster X is very different from like Ghidorah. Like Monster X isn't just like literally the same carcass of a previous Ghidorah that was like upgraded and made more like Matrixy. Let's be honest, but like it's literally the same Ghidorah carcass. And I'm pretty sure even though it's like sort of like dormant, the other two heads are technically still alive.
Not really.
But I thought like in the beginning of like the Ghidorah movie, like it talks about how like their heads are still breathing or it's like a heartbeat or something.
Maybe?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like they say that at the beginning of the movie last time I watched it. So like the two heads are technically still alive.
I do remember them saying that the water is cold, so he could still have a heartbeat.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's what they said, which is why the carcass did rot over millions and millions of years, or thousands, or whatever.
It was only... So, it was... Time travel is so weird, but... I think they explained that the cold water actually kept him preserved.
So, either way, like, the Kaiju I was talking about earlier was Mecha King Ghidorah, that I have a really interesting history with throughout most of my life. If you guys are curious to hear.
I mean, that's the reason why... should we rank... Wait, hold on. Should we rank Godzillasaurus?
No. No, Godzillasaurus has one variant.
No, not just that. Like, comics, I have, like, no attachment to him whatsoever. Like, I actually forget he exists, like, almost all the time.
He is a dinosaur, I guess.
But yeah, so, the story with Mecha King Ghidorah. So, I don't know if I first learned about him from, like, the same James Massacre, Godzilla-thon you saw. Oh, no, I think it was from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. Because that was, like, the second or third Godzilla movie I ever saw. And I just remember, like, one time, like, I think this also before Convex was born. I was watching the movie. You know how, like, the movie starts with, like, that, like, the Mecha King Ghidorah head? So, like,
yeah.
I remember seeing that, and I was thinking to myself, what the heck is that thing? I thought it would be weird and also very, sort of, like, mysterious. And then, like, when they show, like, when they explain how, like, this thing's built from the remains of Mecha King Ghidorah, I was like, what the heck is that? They have a there's a mecha version of King Ghidorah, and obviously they don't show like the full thing in the in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2. So I was just
I mean, they kind of do if you look at the computer screens.
Well, no, it's mostly sort of like CGI, and like and like at least for me, like I didn't like really comprehend it. It was like a cyborg. So I was just imagining in my head what a
Yeah, I
fully
don't think
robotic,
a 9-year-old child's gonna be.
yeah, like a fully robotic. Well, basically, I imagine Hyper Mecha King Ghidorah, and when the first time I actually saw
I mean,
it,
actually, there is a old piece of like artwork from a magazine that depicted the concept for a fully machine King Ghidorah. It's actually right next to Hyper Ghidorah.
makes sense. Yeah, so, when I first saw it, it was like in a YouTube video. There was this dude who always made like versus fights with like different figures. So it was like Space Godzilla was Mecha King Ghidorah. That was the first time I saw it, and I thought Mecha King Ghidorah was like the coolest thing ever because it was like a cyborg, and like the middle head was like robotic. And throughout most of my life, Mecha King Ghidorah along EX Gomora were like the top two figures I always wanted, no matter what. And they were always super expensive whenever I tried to get them on Amazon. And
well, see, that was your first problem is looking on Amazon.
yeah, that's what I did most of my life. It was cringe. I didn't know any better. When I eventually like start recollecting, like I did with the Gomora and Mechagodzilla 2, I will use the actual sites like you're supposed to go on. But yeah,
Well, there's also eBay too.
Yeah, that also works. So yeah, so like just for years, like I also like looked at pictures on it. I like saw it in Godzilla Unleashed. And I was really fascinated by it. And I eventually got the Mecha King Ghidorah figure. I got it what was it, 2019, 2018, around that time. And it actually might be my most prized possession. Either that or the X Gomora that I got like a few months ago.
Yeah, Mecha King Ghidorah is pretty cool. I actually grew up watching Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. So I was pretty knowledgeable on the character's existence. It was in Godzilla Save the Earth and Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee, which were the first two Godzilla games. One of the first two that I ever played. He was in Super Godzilla, but I never got that far. I always got stuck on the Biollante fight, which is ironic now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew about the character. I like him. I think he's cool. But my thoughts don't really extend beyond that. At the same time, I'm willing to go an A tier for Mecha King Ghidorah. However, I absolutely think that the Showa King Ghidorah should be an S tier.
What do you think, Convex? Which is your personal favorite Ghidorah that like you've having
Admittedly, I don't really have like a lot of personal attachment to King Ghidorah as a character. I think he's cool. I probably would choose Mecha King Ghidorah because I remember you getting that figure and I remember playing him a lot in like the Pipeworks games.
I was about to get livid if you were about to say you remember playing with my figure a lot, because I do not remember giving you permission to do that.
Oh no, I just remember you getting it.
No, it's like I figure out you used to play with my figures when you were a kid, and me and Atlas like just work together and just beat you.
So, let me explain why I think we should also rank the Showa King Ghidorah, even though we've.
Oh, like I don't even think you need to, because like obviously like I was a group of a lot of the Showa films, and there is literally no question about it. The Showa Ghidorah is by far the most iconic Ghidorah that there will probably ever be.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
and I think it's the one version of Ghidorah that I think I was introduced to, actually.
Actually, I have a better idea. So, like, what if
I grew up with?
Or you finish. You finish your thought.
I grew up watching the Showa films.
Mm-hmm.
So the show Ghidorah was the one I was always most familiar with, and I love its roar. I love how in the original movie, if you guys go back and watch Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, the scenes where Ghidorah is like in the distance and he's like approaching the city, you actually hear that jingling sound of him flying get louder and louder as he approaches. And there's just such like this ominous dread of just this thing that has appeared and it's going to wipe out everything.
How do you guys feel about how it changed its years?
Yeah, I like
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Also,
Yeah,
something
I
I just
like that.
remembered about Showa Ghidorah is I remember what's it called? You know how Grombeck knows this. In the cartoon Courage, the Cowardly Dog, there's like this scene where like he's going
Oh
through a
my
bunch of
god,
doors
that's
and he's
right.
opening.
There
Yes.
is.
Like, trust me, I knew. Like, I didn't even need to ask Atlas if he knew about that scene. Because, like, literally anyone that was around during the early 2000s, if you're a Godzilla fan, you were on Cartoon Network, you know about that Courage the Cowardly Dog scene.
I remember that. I remember seeing the scene. He was in like that hotel room, or not hotel, hotel room. He was in that hotel, and he opened the door, and there was just King Ghidorah there, and he screams and slams the door.
I'm not sure why you would be scared. I have no idea why you would be scared. Like, King Ghidorah seems like an all-around swell guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he did wipe
seems
out
like
all
a.
life on Venus.
Yeah. Well, you
I
know
don't know.
what?
He seems like a swell fellow.
No, no, no.
Like a
Wait, do you guys know that meme where it shows like a full
beer.
book, and then right next to it shows like a really small book? It's just like Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, and then right next to it, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster of Courage was on Venus with Muriel. Alright. Yeah, Ghidorah definitely belongs there. Ooh, this one should be interesting.
I'm
Mothra.
willing to put I'm in my personal opinion, I think the first black and white picture is the most iconic depiction of Ghidorah.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Like, I was considering putting that, but like, I don't know. I always find a lot of like black and white show like pictures weird when they aren't like 1954, 55. I don't know why. I just find it weird.
Well, the reason why I'll say that is because like that's the depiction of Ghidorah that's like on books and everything from like
What?
the
Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. I didn't think about it.
like on like those old school books and everything. Like even James Rolfe talks about it in his Godzilla versus Kong, or not Godzilla versus Kong, King Kong versus Godzilla, where it's like he shows a book about Godzilla, and then on the cover is the black and white photo of the 64 Godzilla fighting the 64 King Ghidorah, and it's in black and white.
I still can't believe Mothra versus Godzilla and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster were made in the same year.
Oh, you think that's weird? They made Dogora in the same year also.
No, like that one's like whatever, but like Mothra versus Godzilla and Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster are literally like probably two of the biggest highlights of the entire Showa series.
As a Showa fan, I'm gonna pretend you didn't just brush that off like that.
Look, I'm talking about Godzilla specifically. Dogoran doesn't appear in the Godzilla series.
Actually, yes, he does.
Well, he appears on Planet of the Monster, but he doesn't appear
Yeah.
he doesn't like.
Yeah, like if
Doesn't have,
he's about as relevant to the story as like Baron
Transformers.
was in Shara Monsters, it doesn't count.
Well, okay, he does have continuity in the Kiryu saga.
Yeah, but that's during the
Yeah,
Millennium
but
era, so like that's even more disconnected from like the Showa era.
I mean, hey, it still counts. We take those.
Alright, either way, Mothra. This one should be interesting. Like, I know which one I have the most attachment to, and which one I think of whenever I think of Mothra. I'm just gonna assume, Atlas, your most favorite's gonna be GMK.
Wow, I'm just being called out in all sorts of ways, huh?
Hey, no,
Um,
this one's good though because GMK Mothra is based.
so GMK Mothra is probably the one that I actually have the least interactions with throughout my life,
Really?
but it is my favorite version of Mothra. And it's the reasons why are kind of petty, but they're valid to me, I guess. The design. In all honesty, I do not like Mothra that much. I respect her character. I understand her relevance. But I never really. It's not that I never enjoyed the movies she was in. Frankly, they're some of the best outside of Tokyo SOS, which even then I like Tokyo SOS. But I never really liked her design that much. She was always like too fluffy, in my opinion. The early Showa design was great, to be honest. Especially the one in 64.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just something so nice about like that ragged like insect look. That was kind of lost in the later films, especially in the 90s version, which is just too fluffy, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Too like
Like, I mean, I agree with you. Like, my Casey Mothra is definitely my least favorite. Just thank God for Armored Mothra. Like, Armored Mothra carries the Mothra designs, Heisei Mothra designs, like, so hard.
I like the Mothra.
I don't even really like
fluffiness.
What about you, Convex? Which Mothra are you personally most attached to?
well I wasn't
I was gonna say
done.
like
Oh, sorry.
Heisei.
Awkward.
So what I was gonna continue to say is that's kind of where GMK comes in. Is GMK was the first Mothra that I saw that wasn't lean or that wasn't overly fluffy. It was very lean, very spindly, kind of gross looking. Like it looked like an actual bug. And on top of that, it was the first Mothra design that had purple on it, which is important to me because one of the first Godzilla games I ever played was Godzilla Domination.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I grew up playing Godzilla Domination. I had the Game Boy cartridge. I did not have a Game Boy though. I had the original DS that had the Game Boy insert on it. And how I got this game was when my uncle was back. I think it was the first time he was coming back from war. I had obviously went to see him. This was like early 2004, somewhere around there. And he had given me Godzilla Domination. He had found it. And I played the hell out of that game. I didn't know how to play it, but I played it. And that was kind of the first time I saw like a really different looking Mothra. And I remember always thinking, wow, this thing looks cool. They made Mothra look cool in this game. And then later on, I would encounter the GMK Mothra, which is what the Domination Mothra is based on. And another reason I really like GMK Mothra, and this is especially petty, my favorite color is purple. So to see Mothra with like purple eyes and purple wings, or purple on its wings, was very cool for me.
Admittedly, that also really stood out when I first saw Mothra, like, or when I first saw GMK. I was like, wow, like, I've never seen purple on Mothra before. That looks really cool.
Yeah, it was new.
I
It
keep
was different. It
forgetting
was
that
interesting.
Mothra has purple.
Which, yeah, the purple on Mothra, it was new, different, interesting. Basically everything that Heisei version of Mothra is not.
Alright,
Stop
Convex.
shitting on Heisei Mothra. I really like Heisei Mothra.
Look, like, I like the lore in, like, the Heisei version with, like, you know, her role with, like, Batra. And I like the Rebirth of Mothra series. I think it gave me a really newfound respect for Mothra.
Oh my god, I hate the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy.
Even the third one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna maybe moving on to which Mothra I'm the most attached to. So, for me, it's Tokyo SOS. And that's because, it was one of the first ones I saw as well. And, so there's two reasons. One, because of how that I thought about the movie years afterwards, and how I felt about it immediately after finishing the movie. Immediately when I first saw the movie, there's no other way of saying this. I was livid. Like, I used to hate the movie for years. And it was because I absolutely hated how the baby Mothras, or the Mothra larvas, like, defeated Godzilla. Like,
I always thought that was stupid too. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, like, I was so salty as a kid that literally when Hollywood Video got closed down, and I had to choose between SOS or Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and keep in mind, we already had Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla on VHS, I chose to get Mechagodzilla anyways, because around that time I was still very pissed off about the Mothra larvas winning. But, I don't know why, but years later, like, the SOS version of Mothra just became the only one I ever really associated with. So whenever I thought about Mothra, it was always that one. And I always felt like it was, like, the perfect one. Because to me, I felt like SOS was, like, the perfect mix between being a little bit, like, a fluffy, but also looking, like, very, like, swim and insect-like. And I really appreciated that.
See, that's actually really funny because the one thing I will say I like about SOS, well, there are two things I like about SOS. Well, three. I like Godzilla's scar on his chest. I think that makes him look cooler. I like the story of Kiryu, like how it finally finishes out and everything. But the one thing that always stood out to me about SOS is that opening sequence with Mothra and the fighter jets. I just always remember the fighter jets are like following something flying and it's moving very fast, and then they get like one image and it's just like the tip of Mothra's wing, and I was like, oh, that's ominous.
Yeah. I actually forgot about that scene. Well,
It's arguably the best in the movie, honestly.
so awkward. All of us have different Mothra designs. Now we need to decide on one of them. Unless you guys
Even
want
though
to
I
go the same
personally
route.
like Heisei best, I'm willing to compromise on SOS.
I personally think GMK is the best one. I think it has the most original. Like, I think GMK has the most original story. The Mothra design is a very fresh take on the character, which would later be incorporated in SOS and beyond. But I also know I'm probably not going to win this argument out.
Well, here's my concern, because mine is like a little different, or in some ways I agree with you, but that's also kind of why, for me, I don't really want to do Mothra or GMK. Because for me, I feel like GMK Mothra's greatest strengths are that it's very different from the other Mothra designs. But I also feel like that also takes away from it. Because I like regular Mothra. I like the lore with, like, you know, like, all that stuff with, like, you know, with her fairies and whatnot, which are, like, absent in GMK. And I also like how
actually, not
Mothra
entirely.
is I
Uh,
also like
the
yeah.
That's actually not entirely true. The actresses which would play as the consorts of Mothra in SOS actually make a cameo in GMK.
That doesn't
They
count. I
are
mean, like, actual fairies, smaller than humans, actually, like, playing a role in the story and having a connection with Mothra.
They don't. Yeah, they don't do
oh,
anything. They're cameos. That's what they're not main characters.
And also, like, the other
They're
issue I
not
have,
main.
like, the other thing I was really like on Mothra that's always fascinated me throughout the years is that she, by far, has the best win record against Godzilla. And a lot of that, I feel like, has to do with, since both their ideologies for what the kaijus actually mean are, like, polar opposites. And GMK Mothra just gets her ass beaten throughout the entire thing. Like, she's
hey, she saved Ghidorah though.
Yeah, and that's literally the best thing she could really
What
do. Like,
do?
at best, she was like a punching bag to, like, give Ghidorah some time. And to, like, boost him with
And
her life
also,
energy, basically. And that takes
uh,
away a lot from me.
I also one thing I will say about GMK Mothra that I'm just now noticing, she has a black ring around her eyes, which are kind of sharpened towards the outer side. So this Mothra is literally wearing eyeliner. Put her in F tier.
Do you guys want to compromise and do the 1964 Mothra? Since that's probably, like, the one that, like, it's the most iconic and also, like, I'm pretty sure all of us can agree it's, like, pretty good.
Well, I'm okay with doing
Well,
SOS.
I'm willing to compromise on the Tokyo SOS. I'm
Oh.
willing to compromise on the Tokyo SOS.
Alright.
Also,
And one thing
because
there's a few
the
things I actually want to say
Tokyo
about Mothra as well.
What was that, Atlas?
Because, like, what's it called? I actually have a lot of, like, personal, like, memories of Mothra.
Oh.
Because what's it called? First of all, the Unleashed glitch with Mothra. I think.
Oh my gosh, I
Groundhog
forgot
knows.
about the Unleashed glitch.
That one. Yeah, that.
Um,
That one I remember
the-
doing fairly amount.
the reason why I'm willing to compromise with the Tokyo SOS Mothra is, it's the Mothra that I've arguably seen the most in my life. Of course, the puppet in SOS would be reused in Final Wars, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen Final Wars a ton. I've watched Tokyo SOS quite a few times. That opening sequence with Mothra is one of my favorite bits of Mothra anything. So yeah, I'm willing to compromise on that. But one little fact, and I'm completely outing myself for this one, and this is going to be on the internet forever. When I was a kid, I grew up watching the 1964 Godzilla vs. Mothra. I actually distinctly remember having a crush on the fairies from that movie.
I was literally expecting you to say you had a crush on Mothra. You do not have to worry about being made fun of.
Yeah, I was expecting that as well.
Yeah, like
Although I
most.
was gonna have a completely different reaction than ground back.
Yeah, and also like most of like the actors or especially like the female actors they choose for like Godzilla films are like literally like models. So like, don't be embarrassed. They are literally hot. That's why they got hired.
That's what they're meant to do. Also, wait, something else I just remembered about Mothra. As a kid, I spent like hours trying to draw this picture, like of like I think it was like SOS Mothra or like Unleashed Mothra with her like levers at the bottom. I remember spending so long, and remember being so proud of it once all was finished. I remember being really good at drawing Mothra,
Also,
and I just remember that right now.
Also, Compact, like
Another little detail about Mothra that I distinctly remember is, I remember in Save the Earth, every time I beat Mothra, I would stomp on it afterwards because there's like a little gap between beating the monster and the KO.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd always use that time to beat on Mothra a little more, and only Mothra for some reason.
for me personally, for both Melee and Save the Earth, whenever like I defeated the kaiju, I try to take the time to like walk away from like the body, so that way whenever I did the whole "you win," you just see the monster's corpse in the background.
Yeah, I do the same.
Also, Complex, as much as I'd love to put Mothra in our personal favorites because of like all nostalgia and like stuff like that in the Unleashed glitch, for our personal favorites, it has to be where all three of us need to unanimously need to absolutely love the kaiju to death. The only exception will be with the absolute favorite one of you guys have, and even then, I think that's only going to be Manda exactly. For something to be our absolute favorites, literally all of us need to unanimously agree it's our favorite. And no compromise.
Hmm.
Fair enough, yeah.
Oh.
Alright, so next up is Rodan. And for me personally, I have the most connection with Fire Rodan because Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 2, my first introduction to him. And when I was a kid, I was always super...
This is gonna be controversial.
Yeah, I was always super uninterested in the, I never cared much about the Godzilla characters. I didn't have any sort of, beam attack. So I never cared about Kamakuras or ever that much. So literally the only version of Rodan that I cared about was the one that had a beam attack. But, Rodan himself isn't really a kaiju that I'm really that attached to. So with whichever Rodans you guys are more attached to, I will probably be willing to compromise.
The Rodan I'm most attached to is Final Wars.
That might be the most... That's going to be convex. You're going to say it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I think I'll say Final Wars as well.
So, here's my reason why. Final Wars was not one of my first Godzilla movies that I ever watched. It was not the movie I watched the most, but it is the movie I distinctly remember the most. Because, see, I was born in 2002. So, I was 2 when Final Wars came out. I think, that's how time works.
That is true.
I distinctly remember when Final Wars was first coming out, and and having the movie as I grew up, I had Final Wars, and I watched it a lot. And the one scene that always stuck out to me the most, out of anything else in the movie, was the scene where Rodan attacks New York City, and there's the argument with that pimp and that officer. Very stereotypical, but I mean that is New York City. I've been there. But that scene where Rodan flies forward and then lands on that building and his wings unfurl and he roars with the moonlight behind him, with that big full moon that is not realistic at all, but it was cool anyway.
Look, it's the Final Wars universe. I fully believe that they probably have a moon the size of Jupiter in that universe.
I mean, have you seen the Final Wars timeline?
Convex told me about it, and it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I make actual edited content one day, you and I have to work together to make a script, and we have to make that a video. That sounds like something that not a lot of Godzilla fans know about.
Oh yeah, we absolutely do. But yeah, Final Wars Rodan is my favorite version.
Yeah.
And
yeah, same. What's it called?
He's my second favorite, by the way.
What were you going to say, Convex?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say what's it called? New York scene was also really iconic for me. especially like when he's like, oh, what's it called? Like all the windows and everything's exploding behind him.
Yeah.
And I also remember spending a decent amount of time trying to find the soundtrack in the background.
Yes, I have memories
Oh,
of you
yeah.
listening to the
Dude,
Rodan
I
theme.
love the soundtrack in that scene. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the montage we see afterwards of Anguirus attacking Shanghai, uh, Trash attacking Sydney. Oh, there's gonna be fallout for that one.
I
Um,
actually don't think so. I think it's going to be pretty easy what me and Convex are going to pick. And for you, it'll probably be easy as well.
oh no, I was talking about in the comments maybe
Oh,
because
you
I
don't have to worry
do.
about that. No one comments on these videos. But if
Um,
you would comment, that would significantly boost the algorithm. And while we're at it, did you know that over 90% of you guys aren't subscribed? Go ahead,
shut up!
subscribe, leave a
Oh my
like.
god!
Like, what do you have to lose?
Oh my
Grombuck
god!
just got like a
I
massive
just
adrenaline
go
boost
out.
because he was.
Um, but I love the soundtrack in that scene. And also, I think Final Wars was actually my introduction to Manda, Kamakuris, Kumonga, um, and I think Gigan actually.
I already knew about all those characters. However, I'm pretty sure, like I'm pretty confident that Final Wars Bandai Creation Rodan is either my first or second ever, like a Godzilla figure. So,
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The figures, that actually. Oh my God, you just awoke memories in me.
oh yeah,
You guys remember when um I don't know if they have it in your area, but CVS Pharmaceutical. Do you guys remember when they would sell Bandai Creation Godzilla vinyls?
I don't, and now I'm very pissed
No,
off.
I don't. I didn't know you guys said that.
Yeah, that was actually one of my for Christmas. For some reason, we went to CVS to go pick up something, and then in one of the aisles there was just Godzilla figures there, and I was like, "Oh my god, they have Godzilla figures!" And I think that night I went home with a Rodan.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about. Cause like I remember like when I first got my Bandai Creation Hedorah figure. Um, it started like we were at Las Vegas. Like I was in Las Vegas with my parents, and I know my dad went to some sort of like I think it was some sort of like store. Like I remember being a gas station, but it might have been like what you were saying. I just remember he just came out and he just had a Hedorah figure in his hands, and I was like, what the heck? And fun fact, convex. So like, Bandai Creation Rodan, like probably the first or second
That's the
Bandai
one you
Creation figure.
microwave.
We're not gonna talk about that, but we are
Wait,
gonna talk
what?
about. That's a story for a different day. So like, here's what I will say, convex. Do you know the day I got that figure?
Uh-huh.
Do you know the
Or
day I
no,
got
I
that
don't know
figure?
that they got that.
Obviously, of course you don't, because I got that figure
Oh,
the
what?
day of the baby shower my mom was having for you.
Oh. And then you went and microwaved the figure.
Not the same day. This is like years later after MIB influenced me. When
You
MIB literally said, "Hey,
you put a Hedorah in the microwave? What?
no. It was Anger's,
No, he
Godzilla,
put Rodan
Gigan,
in
and
the
Rodan.
microwave.
You put them all in the microwave?
Not at the same time.
Why did you put them in the microwave?
Because I
Because
guess I
Monster
wanted to like
Island
warm them
buddies.
up to get them soft, so I can like take off like their arms and legs and put them like like mishmash them, sort of like how Sid did with some of his toys.
Did you blow up the microwave?
Believe it or not, no, I didn't get hurt, and none of the figures got damaged either.
I am flabbergasted right now.
I was hoping like no one would
Truly,
ever
this is a
learn about that
miracle.
story, but convex, he's a little snitch.
I'm
Sucker.
flabbergasted right now. What the?
You know what? You're right. We should move on. We all agree Final Wars Rodan is awesome. You know who else is awesome? Mechagodzilla. Now, for me,
Oh my gosh,
Kiryu.
I'm attached to all the three main Mechagodzillas.
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla 1, 2, and 3. I love them all to death, and I have a personal attachment to all three of them. It's,
Yeah. So me, like,
you guys are gonna
Yeah,
choose on this one.
that's actually kind of the problem I'm thinking about now is I have attachment to all of the first three incarnations of Mechagodzilla. Well, technically four if you want to count Terror Mechagodzilla as Mechagodzilla 2, which is is officially what he's called.
Like, I'm having the same problem. But, like, it also is, like, sort of like not like a morality thing. So, like, Mechagodzilla, Showa, Heisei, Millennium, like, I have all three of those are, like, so dear to my heart. But the issue is, if I do that, we have to, like, separate those three. We would have to separate all of them. And for, like, Ready Player One, Mechagodzilla City, or Monsterverse, I don't have anywhere near as much an attachment to them. So it would feel weird to, like list them separately.
So this is going to be a first time for me. I've typically always ranked either the Heisei Mechagodzilla or Kiryu as my definitive Mechagodzilla of choice. But I'm going to deviate from that. I'm going to go with Mechagodzilla 2 from Terror Mechagodzilla. Terror Mechagodzilla is one of, if not, is one of my favorite Godzilla movies of all time. It introduced me to Titanosaurus, who is my second favorite Godzilla monster ever. Kind of inching on my favorite. I love that movie. It is the movie I have watched the most out of any Godzilla movie, without a doubt.
Interesting.
I love the story of that movie. I love how dark and adult it was. And the story with Katsura and Titanosaurus was very, very tragic to me. And it was written to be. And at the end of that movie, instead of the trope of we see the heroes watch Godzilla go back into the ocean on a hopeful sunrise, it's a very solemn, sad ending. The heroes, the one guy carrying Katsura's body who sacrificed herself to end the invasion, watching Godzilla go off into a somber sunset. Everybody won, but at what cost? Is the type of ending that ended on. And that is such an interesting leave of the trope.
It was pretty cool to like have the show series actually end like going back to like its original roots with 1954.
And also, Terra Mechagodzilla. Sorry if I'm kind of away from my mic right now. Terra Mechagodzilla is actually my introduction to Manda. Because that one scene was stock footage. But Titanosaurus is what stuck out to me in that movie. Titanium Slave for a very, very, very long time was my all-time favorite Godzilla monster. It was the figure I always wanted the most, and I did not get it until I was 19. And I'm actually looking at it right now, which is why I was kind of away from my mic. I was getting it off my shelf.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of hard to not tread over the same notes, but basically that is the movie I have the most attachment to. Is Terror of Mechagodzilla. And this might be controversial, it might not be also, but I think Mechagodzilla 2, Terror of Mechagodzilla,
Mm-hmm.
is the best of the two Showa designs. It's a lot more fiercer looking. It's kind of Gundam style. It has like that black dry brush effect on its body that makes it very gunmetal looking.
Yeah, it's more gunmetal, less space titanium.
Yeah. So for me, I think we should go with the 1975 Mechagodzilla.
What are your thoughts, Convex? Which Mechagodzilla
I'm
are
okay
you the
with
most like attached to?
I'm
If you had
okay
to
with that. I
choose?
basically have equal attachment to Showa, Mecha 2, and Kiryu. Like, basically, they're all equal for me in terms of how attached I am to them. So yeah, I'm fine with Showa.
Yeah. So personally, like I was actually, even though like Kiryu's my favorite by far, I was actually going to suggest we should just go with Showa Mechagodzilla since he's like by far the most iconic. And admittedly, Terra Mechagodzilla out of all the Mechagodzilla movies is the one I've seen the least. But
Really?
I already know for a fact, and also not because I didn't want to watch it, I just didn't have access to it as a kid. But I already
Huh.
know for a fact that if I were to see it again, I would probably love it to death. I would not be surprised if I watched it and it became my favorite Showa film. Also, are you putting him in truly iconic, or is Mechagodzilla good enough? Any incarnation where we can just put him in our personal favorites.
I think we should put him in our personal favorites.
What do you think, Convex?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it has to be unanimous, and I agree. Alright, obviously.
I feel like I'm going to be the one with like the most moving stories regarding these characters.
Alright, so,
Yeah.
believe it or not, we're not going who we think we're going after. I think I want Let's Godzilla out of the way. Because for me personally, the one that I was always the most interested in, and the one that would always stay in my head rent-free my entire life, was Cyberzilla. I thought Cyberzilla was cool. I always rewatched like his episodes during the Godzilla cartoon when it was on Netflix. And
See, I think
yeah.
my favorite incarnation of Zilla is the Final Wars one.
What about you, Convex?
What? No, it's got to be the animated one, like Cyberzilla. Like I'm fine with Cyberzilla, but like
Zilla
I
Jr. is
personally
also really
like
cool.
default. Yeah.
Like Cyberzilla
Yeah, it's
and
got
like
to be that one.
Godzilla Jr. actually got to act like real Godzillas. 2004 Zilla was like an ugly CG abomination that lasted like a full second on screen.
Okay, but that's why I liked it though. That was my introduction to Zilla. Actually, was Final Wars.
I think it
Now that
was
I'm saying that, it's kind of
actually no, it wasn't
wow,
mine.
kind of my introduction to quite a few Godzilla characters.
It wasn't my
Um,
introduction because like I never actually saw the 1998 movie, but I had a lot of family who did, so there was merchandise everywhere. So like Zilla plush, like all that stuff. Like I always had access to that stuff, so I already knew who Zilla was before watching Final Wars.
but
Yeah.
I love Zilla in Final Wars simply because he's only there as a joke, and it's so funny to me.
I personally don't, but
Like,
that's
it is
because
pretty
like
funny,
in the movie, Final Wars Godzilla takes down every kaiju about as quickly as he did Zilla Junior or Zilla. So it doesn't really feel like Zilla was like a joke. It kind of
Zilla actually lasted The least, well,
No, not really.
Like
Like,
he lasted the least, but like
no,
he's not
no,
really that
no,
much.
no. Like, in grand scheme of things, like, let's say like Kamakuris, Hedora, Ebra, who else?
Kamakuris'
Kamunga.
fight scene was
No,
Kamakuris and Kamunga's fight scene was definitely longer than Zilla's.
no, they sucked ass and they were still short as
Not
fuck.
by much.
Like, on like literally, I can never like
Okay,
Kamakuris is
but
no. I
okay,
make hot take. I think
camouflage.
the Godzilla vs Kamakuris fight in Godzilla Final Wars is literally the most boring fight in the entire Toho series. I would really rather
Okay,
see Godzilla versus the
okay,
Condor before Godzilla
that's
vs
going
Kamakuris.
that's going a little far. That's going a little far. I think the Kamakuris fight in Godzilla versus Godzilla Final Wars is actually really interesting for the character Kamakuris because it displays an ability Kamakuris has never used before, which is camouflage. And that was honestly seeing Kamakuris hide in the hills was so cool to me. I was like, "Oh my god, he can do that?"
I mean, it was, but it
It was
also like
fine.
lasted
It was
like
a
a
fun fight, I
second.
guess.
Like, if it, like imagine if like it was a real fight and like Godzilla was actually struggling. But yeah, Kamakuris had
And
like
then and
camouflage, but
then
that did jack
I
shit.
and then I love the Kamunga design in Final Wars.
Oh yeah, I actually
I
like the Kamunga fight. Like I would generally do like the Kamunga fight, but even that one was like really short. And
Yeah.
like the difference between the Zoa fight,
Yeah, it was short, but
the
I enjoyed seeing.
Kamakuris and Kamunga, there was just a difference like a second, a few seconds, and not like a minute at most. So it's not really a difference between like how
Yeah,
short all of
honestly,
them
the
are.
only difference between the fights is that the only difference between the fights is that Zilla had edgy background music, like heavy metal background
okay,
music.
that first of all, not heavy metal, just rock. That
I'm
Final
pretty sure
Wars.
that's
There's a difference
Um,
context.
no, I'm pretty sure that's like
there,
heavy
yeah,
metal.
no, they're not. Listen, I'm a metalhead. I listen to a lot of metal music. Sum 41 is not a metal band. They're just a rock band.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But of all the things Final Wars introduced me to, Sum 41 was actually another thing also. So that's kind of another reason why I really like the Final Wars Zilla is I actually listened to We're All to Blame
Oh,
kind
me
of
too.
frequently.
Unironically.
So there's some bias there, but I am willing to compromise with Cyberzilla.
Let's
I will
go.
say I will say he's cool, somewhat.
And like he's just going to me well for them. Like he's not iconic enough, but like
He's not
I want to put him in
truly
not the worst. I want to put him in not the worst.
all right.
But I like the animated Godzillas.
No, like I
Or
just
the
like Zoa
yeah
in
that one.
general, and I would generally see 1998 as as Godzilla, not Zilla,
Oh,
and I think
I
he's cool as
fucking
shit.
hate. I hate the 1998 movie. I hate Zilla so much.
All right, so
I don't hate Zilla. But I was like,
yeah,
I do.
like Zoa is cool, and I actually like. I wish they would like made more so with Zoa, where he's treated as like the successor of like King of the Monsters. I think Zoa has the potential to make a cooler Godzilla Jr. if they actually give him a chance.
Okay.
And then,
Oh,
like,
what?
under him.
But yeah, he has
What?
potential. Yeah, like the people.
Yeah, the animated series proved that he could be a really cool Godzilla.
Yeah,
And the animated series was just a Saturday morning cartoon that barely had any merchandise. It was just Monster of the Week. The stories were monotonous. The only thing
Yeah,
that carried the series, the only thing that carried the series were the monsters,
yeah,
or were the
exactly.
monster designs.
Yeah, the
But
monsters are
even
cool as
then,
shit.
they're not the best, and some of the monsters were only one-offs, so
Well,
there was no attachment to them.
well, you can still get attachment even if there's a one-off. Like, there's a lot of like Godzilla characters have only appeared in a single movie. And also, a lot of the designs in the series I like more than some of the actual kaiju. Like the Bat Mutant, the Cobra Mutant, I like far more than like a lot of the Showa monsters like Kamakuras or Kumonga.
Oh yeah, the Bat and Cobra Mutant are really cool. And also Godzilla in that series was really cool. And I loved how, like, he didn't need to be invincible like Godzilla usually is. Like, instead of, like, just being, like, a tank, he, like, was, like, swift.
Well, actually, no, he
fast,
kind of was. For some reason, there were scenes of him getting shot by tanks, and he
Well, not
wasn't.
just that, like,
well, yeah, like,
he also
was,
survived
like,
that giant, like, alien
paper
beam.
thin, like, regular.
And also, like, Zilla Jr. also really fought a shapeshifter. And that was cool as shit. Especially once the shapeshifter turned into him, and the humans didn't know which was the real one that needed the fire, or which one was the fake one that needed the fire. There were so many iconic moments in the cartoon. But yeah,
The
cartoon definitely showed
the
Godzilla
only
such
good
really
media
cool
Zilla has going for it, and that's it.
because
Well,
Toho
and
and especially the fan base, never gave Zilla a chance. Because a lot of the people in the Godzilla movie are like piss-poor like crybabies who care too much about power scaling. And that's
see, I don't like Zilla because I genuinely do not like it.
Yeah, like that's fair, but like let's be honest, what came to like the 1988 hate, by far the biggest complaints weren't the movie, which is weird because the movie, not liking the movie because the movie is valid, but most of the time people hate him because he looked very different and because the military shot him down, which is really stupid looking back at it.
That doesn't really come down to power scaling though.
The
reason why everyone was so pissed is because Zilla died. And he died.
No, like I remember seeing like Cinemassacres like Godzillathon. They weren't just mad about he died. He was mad because they shot him down. The military. People back then were mad that the military killed him with this conventional weaponry.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Godzilla isn't supposed to die to conventional weaponry. If Godzilla is to die, he is to die from something especially dangerous, which is the point of his character to show that man's hubris is always evolving. It's always becoming more and more of a danger. And Zilla takes the allegory of Godzilla and fucking shits the bed completely.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like...
Yeah, but you can argue the original 1980 movie does that, but, like, the animated series doesn't, like, make him a pushover like he is in, like,
but not
the
just
movie.
that, but, like, I don't know, like...
Well, also, the thing with that argument is that that the animated series wasn't trying to, live up to anything, or wasn't, it wasn't going to be anything. It was just a mindless cartoon for kids.
Yeah, but it did some cool ideas. It made a really cool Godzilla.
And also, like, the original, like, or not the original, 1998 Godzilla movie, I seriously doubt that was trying to, like, live up to, like, the themes and, like, the ideas of the original. And even at the time, there was a shit ton of, like, different Godzillas that had nothing to do with, like being, like, a nuclear, like, metaphor, being, like, a monster that can only be destroyed by, like, something, like, much more dangerous than conventional weaponry. Like, Godzilla and Godzilla. Like, I know, like, the intro shows him destroying the moon, but, like, I'm pretty sure, like, conventional military stuff would kill him. And you already had, like, a lot of, like, the 70s movies where he's just, like, a superhero. So, like, and obviously, like, 1998 wasn't trying to be, like, a super serious movie like the original.
Well, the problem is that the 1998 movie also fucking sucks. Like, the movie's terrible. The characters are by far some of the worst, and just in movies in general. The soundtrack is so forgettable that I can't even remember anything from it. And the only scene that I can think of that I can say that I genuinely like is the scene where where Zilla grabs the one building and roars while lightning flashes. That is the only scene that I like in that movie. Everything else is garbage. The baby Godzillas are
Yeah, I'm
just
not
a
gonna
ripoff
debate.
of Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I don't like the babies either.
Um,
You don't have to worry about that. I don't defend those.
Yeah, I'm not gonna debate whether or not that movie's good because it isn't. Even like if you get rid of the Godzilla moniker, but like the animated series was like it was legitimately good.
Wait a minute,
It
convex. There's one thing I
legitimately
gotta
was
say about the
cool.
movie though, and you just and you have to agree with me when it comes to the movie about this. Are you listening? Convex. The
Mm-hmm.
one thing about the movie that neither one of us can deny is that there was in fact a lot of fish.
yeah, there's a lot of fish.
Yeah, there was a lot of fish in that movie.
There was a lot of
Can,
fish.
can we so okay, can we actually like talk about the unneeded comedy in that movie? Like there
Oh,
were so many scenes that were turned into jokes for no
I
reason
mean,
that
you could say
they were basically
unneeded. I
cringe.
think me and
Wait, wait,
Convex
quote unquote
unironically enjoy
comedy.
those.
Yeah, I enjoy how bad it is.
Yeah, like it is entertaining.
Um,
Like the humor actually works for me.
Yeah, I can assure you, I'm not bored
the
at it. I'm
humor
not
is
bored while
so
watching it.
like
That's for sure.
the humor is in that movie, in my opinion, the humor tries too hard to be funny.
Also,
Like,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna.
I'm not gonna fault you on that. It does, which is why it's so horrible. I love watching that movie fail at being a movie.
Also, I just decided to put Anger's up here because he's really my favorite, and
See, I
Yeah,
want to know. I actually want to know your connection to anger. I'm not going to dispute that, obviously. Um, I want to know why though.
so my first ever Godzilla movie was Godzilla's Revenge, and obviously, like it has that one scene where it shows the
Oh,
clip from the Shura monsters, and I always thought Anger's looked the
oh
coolest one
yeah,
out of
that's
all of
right.
them, and I liked his name too. So like I found that super interesting. It went in this one of my other first ever Godzilla movies was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla and Godzilla versus Gigan. So obviously with Godzilla versus Gigan, he was treated as like a best friend, which is one of my first impressions. And after seeing Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, seeing Angers get his jaw broken sort of traumatized me for like most of my life because I felt so
Oh
bad.
my god, yeah. I will say that is the one thing I do remember the most about that movie is Angus getting his fucking jaw snapped.
Yeah, and I didn't know for
just get
years
absolutely
that
fucked around by Mecha G.
yeah, I didn't know for years that Destroy Our Monsters takes place at the end of the show timeline. So for literally years, I thought Godzilla's best friend had his jaw broken and died off screen.
Oh no, in the movie, I think in the movie or in post material, they're like, no, he survived, he got away.
Yeah.
Um,
Not to
He's
mention the
alive,
beginning of the movie too, where like
just with
he's
some
like
trauma.
crying in like a dark island. It almost sounds like he's in pain or something. Then the island just fucking explodes with him on there.
yeah, geez.
What was even the point of that scene?
Uh, I think they just needed something to give a cool title
Hmm.
card.
So they just decided to make Anger's like the punchline of their bad joke. Okay, whatever. I see how it is, Toho.
And Chris just
I
gets fucked
mean,
around so much in the Snow series.
Yeah, and it happened in Megalon too.
you
Like,
know, and that's actually kind of the thing that that I've always kind of wanted to say about Angus is, boy, in the material he shows up in, is he just a punching bag? Because even in Singular Point that just came out, he fucking or he well she, for some reason, uh, fucking dies.
yeah, and like Singular Point
Yeah,
almost
and then even
implies
in
like yeah,
Anger's debut appearance, like just getting destroyed by Godzilla and fucking bleeding out.
Oh yeah, and Godzilla raids again. Yeah, he lights him on fire.
yeah, it makes him bleed. Yeah, and like, even
Hmm.
like in Megalon, like doesn't like Megalon also have a scene where like Anguirus and like Rodan fall down like a ravine or something?
Yeah, that is true. That is
Yeah,
true.
yeah, and then like he doesn't show up in Heisei at all, despite him being important to Godzilla's history. And then in Final Wars, they make him a fat ass.
Okay.
But not, I like the design. I like
They
the
make him,
design. Don't
they
worry.
make him a literal kickball.
Well,
He's just a literal kickball in that movie.
what I was gonna say is, for a long time, I've always shit on the Final Wars design, but let's be honest, the only thing that design was missing was just uh, a pair of fangs, and the design would have been better.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and maybe make it a little slimmer.
Yeah. Also, he got shot on in GMK.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did get shit on GMK in the sense that he's not in GMK.
Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, so those are like the two things I've been associated with. The fact that he was like Godzilla's best friend, something that I really admired, and the fact that he was always getting bullied, so I just felt bad for him 24/7. And also,
yeah, he was always getting bullied, just like you, Groundhog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Groundhog. Anguirus is your soulmate.
I mean,
you're exactly the same.
I mean, you guys haven't like figured out already that like Anguirus is also sort of the inspiration for why I like openly like don't have a problem with you guys like making fun of me. And also by trying to be super supportive.
Wait, does this mean I'm gonna split open your face?
No, that's gonna be I don't know, like
what?
No.
Those are my high school bullies. Like literally every like Friday night.
This is turning into cringe.
Yeah. But yeah, before getting the Mecha King Ghidorah and Anguirus Gamora figures, by far the figure that I wanted the most was an Anguirus figure. And I didn't care if it was Showa Final Wars, because I would always use like Ankylosaurus toy as like my replacement for Anguirus, because I wanted Anguirus so much, because, you know, like obviously. And I finally got it on my 8th birthday, and it was the best thing ever. I loved that figure so much that I lost the head around the time when I was doing the whole microwave thing, because he was one of the ones I was taking, like, you know, the parts off. I lost the head for like years, and eventually found the head, and I really enjoyed playing it again. And then I lost the head again. And then like around the same year when I got the Mecha King Ghidorah figure, I also got the Showa Anguirus figure. But yeah, like those are my reasons why I love Anguirus to death.
So, Convex, what's your attachment to Anguirus?
Anguirus? I like Anguirus. Oh, also, what's it called? I pissed Groundback off a lot when we were playing Save the Earth this one time.
Don't you dare tell him that story.
Oh, I want to know now. I want to know now.
And then I was jumping, and I basically spammed the same move, and it puts Anguirus into the tumble animation. So whenever Groundback got up, because he was put into the tumble animation first, I would do that, force myself into tumble again, and that'll basically be the entire game. He couldn't do anything, because he did not know the concept of jumping away.
Oh my god. Wait, who were you playing as?
I don't remember. Do you remember? It might have been Megalon?
I have no idea, but I pretty much beat him, like, whoever he was playing.
Yeah, we were in the middle of a tournament too, because like we did like a
tournament. No, Convex. Who were you playing?
Anguirus.
Oh,
where he jumps and puts himself in a tumble.
Oh yeah.
I was doing that, and he had no idea how to stop it. He just couldn't, and then he quit.
Yeah, we just rage quit in the tournament right then and there.
So, yeah.
Or I did, not him.
No, you.
Yeah,
you rage quit, which is, you know, because you're ass, because you suck. So yeah, no, that's a pretty good memory.
I mean, I don't really have, like, I'm not super attached to Anguirus. I like him. I think he's cool, and that's pretty much my general feeling for him. My introduction to him was Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, and I thought he had a really cool design, and seeing him in Godzilla's Revenge was really cool. Yeah.
So you're having like
it's
a feeling
a
of like,
time now?
Yeah, like he's okay. But I'm warning you right now, Alice, the next feeling you're going to be feeling is rage. Because I'm just going to say it, I like Manoa.
I'm sorry, what?
Look, I grew up with his films, so like
what?
I never had that much of a problem with him.
Are you serious?
Bitch, so did I also grew up with his
films. With Manoa too, and you want to know something? I hated him.
Okay, fine. I'm not even going to bother defending it. I already know that's probably going to end up with me being dead. So, let's just...
He deserves
bottom of the tier list.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the worst. Put it, right there, right there.
Personal favorites. Let's go.
No.
Romek, I'll walk over there right now and
Okay,
beat
okay,
the
she's
shit
in
out
worse.
of
She's
you.
in worse. Fine, fine, fine.
And you better fucking.
Godzilla
I mean,
Junior.
Okay,
okay.
so is
I'm
it dragon
feeling.
time
All
now?
right, all right. Hold on. I'm feeling sympathetic. If you can explain to me why you think Manila at least deserves bad, I will hear it out.
Okay, so I'm not going to justify anything from Godzilla's Revenge because honestly, even though like I grew up with that movie, I sort of just block out in my mind the fact that he talks. But
Godzilla says I should fight my own battles,
so I'm just gonna
Like,
say
oh,
this.
really?
I
Fuzzy.
think the ending for Son of Godzilla alone should justify him always being in bad. Just the ending with Godzilla and Minoa just hugging each other in the snow.
Okay.
Fine. Put in bed.
No,
I think that's it.
alright. If I'm gonna be honest, it's funny to shit on Manila and everything because he's so bad. I have to say, I do have at least some attachment to him. Because of Final Wars.
He's not that bad in Final Wars. It's fine.
He's not that bad in Final Wars. His plotline sucked. I wish he wasn't in that movie.
He had a plotline?
Yeah, where he was with that little kid and the grandpa.
Like, how did those two even manage to follow Godzilla around?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were following Godzilla around.
Yeah, no, I'm asking like how. So
like,
it makes sense for like the Gotengo, because like it's like a $1 billion warship.
They didn't start following Godzilla around until he made it into Japan. But
there's another reason, by the way.
I can't really say anything about Manila. I will say he does look substantially better than he did in the Showa movies.
There's another thing I want to say though, like it's more so for Showa Minoa, but it works for Final Wars Minoa too. But I also think like the whole idea of like there being like a son of Godzilla, I think it's a lot more interesting with Minoa being like this ugly, weak ass little like twerp that like doesn't look like he'd be ready to like be cleaning the monsters anytime soon. Not only does it make me like appreciate Minoa's development at the end of the film more, but also feel like he gives more depth to Godzilla, almost showing like a sign of weakness for him, like watching over this little guy that like can't really defend himself.
I will say
that's actually a fair argument.
It was pretty funny to see Kamakuris hit him in the head with a rock.
Yeah.
Bonk.
Oh my god, can somebody edit a video where it's the scene where Kamakuris knocks away that ball or that rock and it hits Manila in the head? Can somebody put the bonk sound effect in there?
I wish ratios were like still like very funny. Because like if they were, imagine like someone's edited that where it's like ratio, Kamakuris hits the border and it hits like Manoa.
I mean, ratios. Okay, hot take. Anything can be funny in the right context.
Yeah, that's fair.
Also, I saw you put Manila in That's not what we agreed on.
Yeah, no.
Get
that shit out of there. It's bad.
Okay, well here's the issue. Like after I said the whole thing about like me liking how much he gives Godzilla weakness and gives depth to his character, fuck you guys. It's my list. I'm keeping him in and I'm not.
It was my idea. This entire video was my idea.
Anyway,
Alice,
Gigan.
That's not what we agreed on. No, hold on.
Nope, it's Gigan time. It's Gigan time. Right, Convex? You agree it's Gigan time?
It's Gigan time.
Gigan
Time to
time!
guy in the game.
You guys already...
Are
Woo!
you are
Yeah!
you guys putting Manila in eh? He's bad.
No, Ant is completely fine.
He's
I
bad.
totally agree.
Also,
He's bad, but I
skipping
want to talk about
over
Guy
we're
again.
also skipping
Woo!
over Godzilla Jr.
Oh, I forgot about Godzilla Jr. And we'll go over Gigan first.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yes.
yeah! Gigan time!
Alright, so
Woo!
along with like seeing Godzilla vs. Gigan very young, you already know I've already seen Godzilla vs. Final Wars very young. So you guys pretty much already know my
Well,
connection with him. So Convex, you go first since he's your favorite.
Mm-hmm. Okay, where do I start? Obviously, his design is fucking amazing. I love mismatched cyborg kind of designs, where like you like don't really have a clear idea of what exactly you're looking at, but it looks cool nonetheless. I also love how much personality he has in all of his incarnations.
I
Like
will
he just
say, he is
emulates
the one
every-
monster who displays the most personality.
Mm-hmm.
and I love I legitimately like Gigan more than every kaiju. And I do mean every kaiju. And it's also what's it called? I specifically remember getting a Showa Gigan figure for my birthday one year, and I was so excited, and I still have that figure with me. It's on the shelf.
Yeah, is that your favorite?
And oh yeah, definitely. Even though like a lot of the other figures are better and not beat up. But yeah. Oh my gosh. And also what's it called, when I was really, really into figures, I remember being so excited finding out that Gigan had a Revoltech figure, that as well. And then I love him at Monster Island Buddies, and I love everything Gigan's in.
Come on, you guys.
I will say, Convex, I don't know if you've seen these animations, but the animations by Quasi, she's doing like a slice of life type series, where the Godzilla monsters all live together on Monster Island, and they actually have like human style houses and everything. Um, Gigan and Megalon are actually recurring characters in both of the videos, and they kind of have like these like henchmen personalities to them, where they're not really threatening, but like they're there nonetheless.
They're there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and I
interesting.
think he
You're gonna
has
have to
seen
show me
him.
that.
Yeah, like I showed you the Anger's Vacation one.
Oh yeah, that. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen all their animations, so
Well, it's just two.
They have
yeah,
another
I'll check them
one
out.
called Little Godzilla Makes a Burger,
Yeah.
and in the video, there's a scene where Little Godzilla looks inside a cave, and there's Gigan and Megalon in there. It's playing the Birdly theme, which I thought is oddly fitting. They're playing what's that one it's like a board game with
By the way, Convicts, which Gigan are we using?
oh my god, what?
This one?
I don't know. Oh
Oh
wait, I
my
thought you meant like the
I
variant.
can't
Yeah,
believe
yeah, I guess I
this
can use.
is
Yeah, we can use that one.
you know
I
that
thought you were asking me variant.
you guys know that tabletop game.
Yeah.
Um oh my god, I have to look this up.
While you look that up, I'll just start talking about my thoughts on Godzilla Jr. I like Godzilla
4 and
Jr.
1. 4 and 1 is the game. 4 and 1.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Um,
But
and Gigan wins 4 and 1, and Megalon gets fucking pissed and he knocks away the game board because he's a sore loser. I just always thought that the scene was always kind of funny to me. But for Gigan,
Yeah.
did we rank Gigan yet?
yeah, we already did.
Yeah. We put him.
Where did we put
Because he's
him?
my personal favorite.
Yeah, he's literally Convex's personal
Okay.
favorite.
Personal favorite.
I'm willing to meet in the middle on that one. Personally, my favorite is the Final Wars Gigan, but I'm okay with the Showa Gigan.
Yeah, Final Wars is my favorite too. But since like Convex,
Yeah.
like that's literally his absolute favorite, there's like no compromise, unfortunately.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
that's
I
fair.
will actually strangle you.
Yeah, he
So-
will actually like use like butter knife to pretend he's Gigan as he tries to attack you.
I will commit a felony with butter knives.
Yeah, and the felony's gonna be you jobbing so hard. But yeah, Godzilla Jr.
I like try and hit you in the accident.
Yeah, I really like Godzilla Jr. for the opposite reasons as Manoa. Whereas Manoa's like not very worthy of like being like the king and needs to work on it. Godzilla Jr. is like almost there. So for Godzilla Jr., I always like him as being like he's like a successor, especially being like a successor of like a monarch that died abruptly, which is basically what happens in Godzilla vs. Destroyer.
And then he returns in Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex.
Yeah, and then like you have like Godzilla's guy game Rex, which shows like how much he's like grown from like like that experience basically. It's like I really like him just for that just like that's his storyline alone.
Yeah, I like Godzilla Jr. storyline. and
Yeah,
what's
Godzilla
going and all that.
Godzilla Jr. is awesome.
Yeah, so where do you want to rank him? Like, are you putting him in iconic or?
I'm
I'd say
willing to say we love him. I'm willing to say we love him, but we put him above Cyberzilla.
I am 100% fine with
yeah,
that.
I'm okay with that.
All right. Who is next?
Uh, like King Kong.
Oh no, King Kong. Shit.
King Kong.
Pretty
He's
brief.
a monkey.
Really mad that Kong
He's a
beat Godzilla
monkey.
originally. Really liked Kong after that, but it was only really the Kong films that had nothing to do with Godzilla. With just like the Godzilla related Kongs, he is sort of. I forget about him. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He's a monkey. He's a big monkey. That's it.
Toho Kong is a thing. He is a thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
He is one of
Because like
a kaiju, I guess.
because like we know with like the
quote, unquote.
Godzilla movies, especially more serious ones, like Toho knows how to make like bittersweet endings, and like how to make you like feel for monsters. But yeah, for the Kong films, they just don't have the elements that make Kong films really good.
I think a lot of that is intentional, though.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They don't want.
I will say though, fun thing, we got Mechani Kong, which is the robot of robots.
Yeah, that's always weird. Like, I think most people probably seen the Mechagodzilla was like the first mecha ever to like restart the genre, but it's Mechani Kong that started it all.
No, it's not. It's actually Mogra.
No, like no, not just robots. Like,
Monkey isn't a
giant
mechanized
robots.
version of something.
Yeah, I'm talking about in terms of like a mecha version of something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Mechanic
Mechani Kong
looks
that
like
started
something
it
I
all.
could build in the basement.
What's this about a basement?
Mechanicon. I said Mechanicon looks like something I could build in a basement.
Oh, you think that was
Looks
the
like
same
it's
boat
made out of
basement?
tin
Look at this
cans.
suit! Look at this freaking Kong suit! That's the face that killed Gorosaurus!
Yeah, that's the face that killed Gorosaurus, and I hate it. I hate it every time. Monster vs. Kong.
I agree. We definitely using that Kong. And I think we should put him in, I think we should put him in not the best, not the worst.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I feel about Kong.
Honestly, yeah.
If you guys want to know,
Welcome to mid
my
city
my
population
favorite King Kong, my favorite King Kong movie ever is the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong.
Same.
Never
And
seen any of the Kong movies that like.
I
I've
just
seen
I
Legendary
love
ones, but
I love what they I personally I like the 2005 Peter Jackson King Kong more than the MonsterVerse Kong movies.
Yeah, same here.
And it's because the movie was actually trying to be something that wasn't. There's a recurring theme with me. Movies that actually have messages and tones and whatnot. Um, but anyways, yeah, not the best, not the worst. He's just there.
Yeah. So obviously we're using the final
Headline.
Wars Hedora. The question's just gonna be,
Yeah.
what
Oh my
tier are we
god.
putting them in?
Thank God. Thank God.
Oh no,
Yeah.
comics, help me!
This
I'm
is
using
pretty
this
obvious.
design of Hedora instead.
Yeah,
I'm not.
no, it is definitely Final Wars Ghidorah. He looks cool.
Did you just say Ghidorah?
No, Hedorah.
No, yeah, he said Hedora.
Alright,
You
I
say
could have
Ghidorah?
sworn I heard Ghidorah.
Oh my god, King
No,
Ghidorah's
you're
in
just.
Star Wars?
I mean, isn't he
Oh
actually
my
like in the
gosh.
timeline?
Yeah, he's in
That's
the timeline.
Kaiser
There's
Ghidorah.
like,
Oh yeah, I guess he's in that timeline.
So
yeah.
either way, my history with Hedora is kind of weird. So you know how like Cinemassacre, he obviously went over Godzilla's Hedora.
yeah.
It's weird because that video that was my first introduction to Hedora, and it gave me two impressions. The first was holy crap, like it's so creepy that he literally kills people, turns them into bones. But the other one scarred or like ruined my thought process for Hedora for years. Because when James said Godzilla finally decided to use his atomic breath and kill it, since I didn't see the movie, what I thought was throughout the entire film, Godzilla never tried using atomic breath once, and literally the first time he tried doing it, it killed Hedora. So for years, I thought that Hedora was weak to Godzilla's atomic breath, and just literally a single shot would kill it.
No.
Yeah, that is so far from the case. Like, but most of my childhood, I used to think that Hedora was way weaker than like she actually was.
She.
But doesn't she have eggs? Like, is she literally a she?
No. Those are actually supposed to be Hedora's eyes.
Well, that's just gross. We know I'm still saying she because Monster Iron buddies.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, if you want to actually go in about it, the Final Wars Hedora does interestingly state the theater program for Final Wars, I believe, states that the proboscis-like tube that Hedora has on his arm is a feature only apparent to the male Hedoras.
Huh. Wait, there's multiple... They have, like, actual genders and there's more than one of them?
Well, see, we don't know exactly what that entails, because it's just kind of vague, but we do know at least that the Final Wars Hedora is male.
You learn something new every day.
My first introduction to Hedora was, as far as I can remember, Final Wars. I always remember distinctly liking that scene with Hedora a lot. It's probably my favorite fight scene out of the entire movie. There's just something about it. The illumination of Tokyo, how it's like pitch black, there's no stars, but there's like this weird haze to it. Kind of like how the general set design for Godzilla vs. Biollante was. that there was just this distinct fog, like colored haze that illuminated the scene. And seeing Hedorah crash down in a building, and he was just such an alien-looking creature. And then he had that really cool roar, which I'm not even going to try and repeat.
That'll be for a different video.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, wait. If you're watching this video, if you can get me 80 subscribers by tomorrow we will really make a video where we try and imitate every single Toho cry.
We will definitely not.
Trust me.
That's not...
We're not gonna get 80 subscribers by tomorrow. You don't have to worry.
Yeah.
That's not a video that I'm ever going to do. But I also distinctly remember how brutal that scene with Final Wars Hedorah is, where Everett comes down and stabs Hedorah in the eye. And you literally see, like, black slime, like, burst from Hedorah's, like, eye socket as Ebra is just hanging there.
You pretty much, like, basically perfectly summed up my thoughts and my experiences with Hedorah as well. Especially, like, maybe Final Wars, which was my first time seeing them. So, Convex, do you have any, like, experiences with them?
No, I don't really have any interesting experiences with Hedorah.
Alright, so where do you guys want to put them?
I want to put Hedorah in iconic. To me, that scene is iconic to me. And also, fun little detail about Hedorah, that scene is the piece of soundtrack that I've listened to the most from that movie.
Do you have a problem with this, Convex? Or are you fine with iconic? Because if you honestly have a problem, like, I'm fine with putting them in We Love Them.
Yeah, I think it should be going We Love Them. I don't really think Hedorah's iconic.
Oh, come on. He's so cool looking.
Atlas, like I told you, most of my childhood has been tarnished because I had a misconception with what James was trying to say. If I had things my way, they would really be with Kong. So I think We Love Them is a good compromise.
Fine. At least put him above Cyberzilla, please.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, no, put him above Godzilla Jr.
No. I'm way more passionate about Godzilla.
Okay, yeah, no. That's bullshit.
Alright, so this one may or may not start some fights. Destroya.
Oh my god, fuck Destroya. I am so tired of Destroya.
There's only one variant of Destroya. There's only one variant of Destroya for, like, the movies and main series.
Well,
so,
not always are a whole bunch of different, like...
I hate Destroya.
No, like, Convex. Not always are a lot of, like, a whole bunch of different, like, forms, but, like, the super, like, the Toho monsters, like, that have, like, their whole ass movies around them, like, we can, like, rank them individually.
But yeah, Destroya, though, like... Oh, I fucking love Destroya.
Oh my god. Oh, that makes me ferociously angry. I hate Destroya with a passion. I despise him. I wish he never existed. So here's my reason why. My hate is not unfounded, Convex. My reason why I hate Destroya. Godzilla vs. Destroya was the very last movie Tomoyuki Tanaka was an executive producer for. And above all else, Tomoyuki Tanaka wanted Bagan to be in the movie. He loved Bagan. Bagan was his all-time favorite concept for a monster ever. And he pushed and pushed and pushed for months. Actually, no, not even just months. For years. For almost the entire Heisei series, he pushed for Bagan to be a monster that Godzilla or Mothra would face. and he lost out every single time. And for his last movie, he wanted above all else to be his final outing for Baggin to be in the movie. And we get Destroya instead. That
really sucks that he never got Baggin.
I hate Destroya because the executive producer for every single Godzilla movie for 1954 to 1995 wanted his one favorite monster to appear above all else. And he never got it once.
Yeah,
he never got
it. Really sucks. But I don't think that should be taken into account of how cool a monster.
Yeah, that doesn't
Destroya.
actually
And
like
to
affect
me-
like Destroya's
to me,
qualities.
That fucking ruins Destroya. Destroya is garbage, is trash. I hate Destroya.
Okay, so
And
anyways,
I wish he never existed. I hate Destroya in the comics. I hate his movie. I barely think there's anything good in his movie to actually like, other than his interactions with the humans, which is the only genuinely good thing I'll give Destroya, is that, and Burning Godzilla. Burning Godzilla is the only thing that carries his movie, and other than that, I think his movie sucks. I hate
fuck
his movie.
You. That is really
I
my
hate
favorite
his
movie.
comic.
Oh yeah, I knew
I
it was going to
hate
get heated. Hell yeah, let's go hands, baby.
Bullshit.
I hate his I hate the comic.
Bullshit.
I hate the comics that he is in. I hate his appearances in the comics, and most above all else, I hate him in the video games. He is my least favorite character to play.
Okay, yeah, like fuck Destroya and Godzilla Unleashed.
He is kind of a degenerate in the games.
Actually, no. Even if you ignore
I'll give you
Unleashed, like the Wii version, he's just annoying in general because of, like, if you like spam like his like little like gravity ball things. I don't know, not sure what you call them.
Yeah, the little like
I'll
smoke
give you
ball
that. He's a degenerate character in the games, but like his movie was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Up there, like arguably one of the best. Not the best.
So much.
Okay, so convex. Time for us to talk about why we think Destroy is cool. Also,
okay, well,
sucks to be Bagon. Really sucks to be Bagon. Banger.
Bagon.
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that.
And we're gonna pretend we didn't hear that Destroyer rant. Boom.
No, that Destroy. Okay, listen, I'll give Destroy a prop.
Bagon.
Bagon, thoughts?
Cool. You know what? Actually, no. I'm not going to give Destroya any credit. Fuck Destroya. I think they're trash.
Okay, so convex.
Okay, well, we're going to discredit your opinion because you're extremely, and I mean incredibly biased to Bagon.
No, I'm not biased. Okay, listen. If Bagon was on this list, okay, scroll up to the tiers. Scroll up to the tiers. If Bagon was on this list, I would put him in not the worst and not the best.
Yeah, like here's the issue though. Like
whoa,
the issue is that
like
your critiques, like obviously it's more so you care more about the executive producer more than the kaiju. But like all that has nothing to do with Destroya himself. So like Destroya isn't responsible for him not making, like in the older Godzilla films, for him not making a Rebirth of Mothra. And like his like themes in Godzilla vs. Destroya, like you should be judging by those things, not because of what was happening with Toho.
So biases aside, clear biases aside, the one thing I will give Destroya credit for, I do like how he ties into the Oxygen Destroyer.
Yeah.
That
was clever.
That is a really important thing to Godzilla as a character, is the Oxygen Destroyer.
Yeah.
Because it's the weapon that killed the original Godzilla. And it came at the cost of Dr. Serizawa's life. Dr. Serizawa is one of the most important and iconic characters in any Godzilla movie. He has one of the most tragic stories, and he is the personification of man's hubris, of what man's hubris looks like, of the cost of man's hubris.
Mm-hmm. And then here's like a fun way I interpret it. So you know how like obviously like Destroyer is like like he like his origins from the Auction Destroyer, and he obviously he adapts and like changes a lot of forms throughout the movie, right? So like a cool way I interpret it is almost like Destroyer being almost like a metaphor that like what if like the Auction Destroyer was never like discontinued, like what if Zero like never like died, and like Destroyer himself like becoming more and more dangerous can almost be like symbolism for what would have happened if like the Auction Destroyer stayed and then Weapon got more and more dangerous as time went on.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's valid.
Mm-hmm. And I'd also argue that Destroyer destroying or killing Godzilla Jr. I think you can actually argue that being just a top 5 and just most iconic moments of Godzilla history, just period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm clearly not going to win, and I'm not saying we should put Destroyer in the bottom tier, because to be honest, I don't do that myself. Whenever I'm personally ranking these characters, I actually put him where Kong is, kind of in the mid. If you scroll up to the tiers, I'm willing to compromise in the we love them tier. That is as high as I will go. I will not go any further, and I will not compromise on anything else.
Here's the thing, Atlas, because like there actually are a lot of things that I legitimately do not actually like about Destroyer, like that I have some problems with. And I think even though like I like his themes and I think he's like pretty cool, other than like killing Junior and what he represents, I feel like his like interactions with Godzilla are kind of mid. Same with the fight itself. And I also think
that's another reason why I don't like Destroyer. His fight is not cool. If anything, he's a massive bitch.
And I think he's also really overrated in terms of like how the community sees him as like the final
absolutely.
boss,
and
like
that
the
is
ultimate
one of
like Godzilla opponent.
That is the one thing that makes me hate.
Yeah, Space Godzilla. I always feel like Space Godzilla like was tougher.
See, that's actually really interesting to me because I always viewed Monster X as like the ultimate final boss.
Oh yeah, like probably him. Like I'm just talking about for Heisei. Like in general, like Ghidorah or Kaiser Ghidorah obviously are the final bosses.
If anything, in all honesty, if anything, I think Super Mechagodzilla could be considered like the final boss of the Heisei series.
He definitely got the closest to like actually killing Godzilla, if you don't count like the military freezing Godzilla and Destroyer.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but I'm okay with putting Destroy and We Love Them though, because like I don't. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Wait, no, wait, guys, look at this.
More...
Alright. There, changed it. Alright. You were saying?
If anything, I would be the most comfortable with not the worst, not the best, but I also understand that I'm not going to win that argument. So I'm also not going to try.
A lot of nostalgia for it.
Yeah, let's just go to like 2 that I know for a fact all 3 of us are going to really enjoy. Biollante and Space Godzilla.
Oh my god. Biollante.
Now it's a party.
Base.
Okay.
Base department.
What can I say about Biollante?
You already said a lot in terms when you're talking about like your story with like the movie. In the movie, it's sort of the same with me. Godzilla vs. Biollante was one of the last Godzilla films I ever got to see because I didn't have any access to it. What about you, Convex?
I loved her in Unleashed. Oh my gosh, I loved playing her in Unleashed. And the way you unlock her by destroying that building, and then you see the little face pop up, and just the chaos of playing as this like big ass monster.
So, the one thing I will say about Violante. And I don't think I've ever admitted this to anybody. Her story genuinely makes me cry when I watch it.
Huh.
Because her story is so unbelievably tragic. She was following in her father's footsteps and loved plants and botany, I think the field is called, the study of plant life. And above all else, she loved the roses. And the scene where Dr. Shiragami, which is a really ironic name. If you guys don't know, Shiragami in Japanese literally means death. His name is literally Dr. Death. And Shiragami is most often associated with the Grim Reaper, or the Japanese equivalent. Well, in the movie, Erica, his daughter, dies tragically in a bombing of his laboratory, because he had just received Godzilla cells, and what he was working with this fictional country in the Middle East called Saradia, meant to be invoking Saudi Arabia. For its oil. He was working with Saradia to use the Godzilla cells to create a new super plant that could survive in the desert. Basically trying to make an all-powerful wheat that would make the Americans, who at the time were the biggest wheat producers, kind of tremble, and putting Saradia on the global market. Erica dies in the bombing to destroy the Godzilla cells by an American, I believe it's an American, like an American rival, or it might be like an unspecified rival company. So she dies next to her roses. Her blood, or somehow her DNA, ends up on these roses, and her father takes these roses home to Japan. Somehow they're infused with her DNA. So in a way, she's living on in these roses, and Dr. Shiragami gets Miki Sagusa, who, this is her first appearance, to monitor these roses to check for psychic energy for Erica. At first, she doesn't. At first, she says she doesn't sense anything. The Japanese try and get Shiragami to work on the anti-nuclear energy bacteria, because Godzilla is returning. The prison on Mount Mahara isn't going to hold forever, is the general census. He refuses, stating very plainly that it's because of these Godzilla cells why his daughter is dead in the first place. But after an earthquake causes his house to shake, the hold of his where he has the roses topples over, and in a panic, he agrees to work on the anti-nuclear energy bacteria only if he can store the Godzilla cells in his house for 3 weeks. Which everybody is like, if that's all you want, that's fine. Little do they know, he splices the Godzilla cells with the rose. And Erica is reborn as Biollante, who first begins her reign of destruction by killing the two bio agents from America who were trying to get information on the anti-nuclear energy bacteria by robbing Shirogami's house. Erica takes this as a slight and basically decides to kill one of them by strangling him to death with her vines. And then, of course, we see Rose Biollante for the first time. And then, fast forward through the movie, we get that epic fight scene with her in her final form. But the scene where, after Godzilla collapses from the bacteria, and that big, bursting, tragic-sounding music is playing while Biollante is screaming and roaring and drifting up in those spores, and we see Erica's face. That was the first time I think I ever cried watching a Godzilla movie. Because, in my opinion, well, and I think anybody who watches the movie would agree, Erica was innocent in all of this. She didn't want this. But it's also not her father's fault either. He was... I think if I was in his situation, I would do the same thing, even knowing the repercussions of it. Erica is just tragic.
Yeah.
And I think personally, she's not my favorite monster. She's not my second favorite. But I think she deserves to be in the highest tier possible.
What do you think, Convex?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think that's fair. Also, this is the same movie with Bio Wars in the background. Like, that's a fucking bang.
I personally just put her in, we love them. But because I'm that passionate about it, I can put her in our personal favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put it in truly iconic. But yeah, I'm okay with our personal favorites. I think that makes sense.
I'm only really passionate about, the idea of Biollante. Or, obviously, I like the actual movie, the character and whatnot. But for me, I just really like the potential of, what Biollante is.
See, I love that about Biollante too, because in a way, Biollante mirrors Godzilla, and I think that's the purpose of her character. Whereas Godzilla represents the threats of developmental weapons and what they can do, what they can be. Biollante represents the dangers of messing around with genetics.
Yeah, and generics, yeah. Genetics, yeah. But now I thought about it, we need a movie that's starring Godzilla, Mothra, and Biollante. Think about Godzilla vs. Mothra Battle for Earth, where it's supposed to be 3 different ideologies with Godzilla, Batra, and Mothra. But replace Batra with Biollante, and it works so much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What would Mothra represent?
So,
just nature in its purest form.
But not, yeah,
or,
so, Mothra would probably be, obviously, the good one, the one rooting for. But while Godzilla would probably represent, just pure destruction, Biollante would probably represent, nature getting out of control. What happens if, humanity gets too irresponsible?
You try to play as God.
Yeah, Mothra would either represent, almost the harmony or like I don't know how to explain it, but like maintaining order, or it would
That's
just be like a
really
balance to try to
interesting.
like just
Al-
something that counteract the other two, you know, like a healthy in between with all of them or something. I don't know.
Also, fun fact about
Hmm.
Biolante. Um, After Godzilla beats her in her rose form, there is a deleted scene where Godzilla is traveling along the river that leads from Lake Akashino, and the entire both sides of the river, the land, is completely covered in flowers,
Huh.
Hmm.
roses actually,
Hmm.
Fitting.
which this is kind of more seen in the comics, but anywhere Biolante goes, she leaves massive amounts of plant life everywhere.
Hmm.
Which I always thought was really
Hmm.
cool to her character and very fitting.
This is random, but because while you were like talking about why like Biolante meant so much to you, I was looking through like a lot of the tiers, and since we're skipping a lot of the monsterverse stuff, we're starting to run out of like kaiju. But I'm starting to wondering, are we actually gonna have anything in both the bad and the worst tier? Because I'm starting to
Hmm.
doubt that we are.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I can think of one that for sure that's going to be in one of those tiers, but we'll get to him.
All right. Also, I put Space Gods Only Love Them because
I so
Yeah, I'm cool
I
with that.
think Space Godzilla. I think Space Godzilla should be an iconic.
I'm cool with that too. Yeah, like
Yeah, I'm
I
up with
So
that.
yeah.
Okay.
so although I'm not going to go on some huge monologue like I did for Biollante, um, my first introduction to Space Godzilla was Godzilla Save the Earth. He was the character that I played a lot, and I love his playstyle in that game. He's a character who I definitely main. If I could play that game, I would main him in a heartbeat. Um, I see you ranking Batra.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I
I
feel
like
though.
Batra a lot.
Like I like
We love them.
yeah, okay.
I like
I think
Batra.
we love them.
Yeah, but you were saying
Um,
Yeah.
I I know a lot of people don't like Godzilla versus Space Godzilla as a movie. I personally do. I thought it was very I thought it was a movie that was very kind of ahead of its time. Like it had a lot of ideas that it couldn't just do yet.
Hmm.
hmm.
If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
I
Like
enjoyed the
that
movie. It was
space
fun.
fight with the meteorites.
Yeah, that was
But
pretty cool.
the one thing I will say I love the most about that movie is the soundtrack.
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
That final scene with that final theme of Space Godzilla, it's literally called in the soundtrack Space Godzilla theme dash madness. The emotion in that track, the tempo of it. If music can tell a story, the story I'm picturing is this is the fall of this titan, this being who thought they were so powerful, the arrogant and blind and prideful. And here we're seeing their fall from grace, and it is very violent. It's just this explosion of emotion, and it's just like surreal and breathtaking.
Yeah.
So yeah, Space Godzilla.
My interactions is probably the same as Convex, where we first got introduced to him through the Godzilla and Wish games. Yeah, and those
and he was like the final boss.
Yeah, he's I liked him in the movies. He was one of the more intelligent creatures in the Godzilla universe.
In the movie, they say he's attacked planets, countless planets before arriving on Earth.
Yeah, I once had a debate with some people in a Godzilla server I was in, but they were trying to say I'm pretty sure Space Godzilla is the most destructive, or has killed the most people out of everybody, more than Ghidorah Godzilla. And I was like, yeah, I'm sure. I know he destroyed a lot of planets, but were any of them populated? And none of them could really answer me that.
Why would he? To be fair, why would he destroy a planet that wasn't populated? I feel like I don't know. That just seems like it wouldn't be something he'd do.
I mean,
this doesn't really get anything out of it.
Either way, he's getting energy from the planets, from his crystals, but also he's a Godzilla. He destroys. It's what you do.
Well, they also didn't say he destroyed. They say he. They also, in the movie, they didn't say he destroyed the planets. They say he attacked them. So.
Yeah.
The most he probably did was just set up Wait, no, I'm just helping your argument. Fuck!
Well, let's just quickly talk about Batra real quick, because I do not have much to say about Batra at all.
I mean,
me and Mothra.
He's literally just a cooler. In my opinion, he's just a cooler Mothra.
Yeah, the lava form of Batra clears almost any Mothra design.
Oh, absolutely. And the Imago form of Batra is very awesome. I love his purple energy beams.
Wow, you like purple. I'm so shocked.
Oh, shut up.
Oh my gosh, I just realized, Atlas. You're just that guy from SpongeBob who's purple? Purple's my favorite color! That's basically it.
Whatever.
Atlas trying to resist the urge not to eat a purple pretty patty. Alright, who's up there, Batra?
Okay, this is turning into a roast session, and I'm not okay with it. Moving on.
Speaking of roast session, Baragon.
Oh my gosh, I love Baragon.
I actually really like Baragon.
I do too. I think everyone does.
I love his GMK design, and if you haven't seen, truly iconic. Absolutely. If you haven't seen the video of his suit actress Ryo Ota doing the little roars,
yes,
it's free serotonin. It is free serotonin.
Yeah.
Baragon's roar, even without ignoring the cute roar that the actor did, Baragon's roar is music.
Oh yeah, absolutely. His roar in his roar in GMK is awesome. And speaking of the GMK design, playing him in Save the Earth was really fun.
Hey, it's weird because
he's
Save the Earth Baragon, not only is he a lot GMK Baragon sort of let's be real, he was beat up a lot, but Pipeworks games, he's a full-on superhero. And from what I've heard for competitive Save the Earth people, apparently he's the fan favorite, the one everyone gets excited for whenever someone uses him in a tournament.
Really? The Captain Falcon of Save the Earth.
Yeah, he's really the Captain Falcon of the Save the Earth community.
I mean, I would root for him too. He's just too darn cute.
Yeah, so Space Godzilla
is can we put him above Mothra?
Or actually, who would Space Godzilla be if in Smash Bros. Terms?
Oh my God! Space Godzilla would be the Meta Knight. He would be the Meta Knight. If you guys don't know, Space Godzilla can do an infinite glitch in the boxing ring, which is the tournament ring that they use, where he can basically he has infinite energy because his energy because the range on the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
But he can also corner and just keep bouncing you up and down, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, in actual competitive matches for Save the Earth, Space Godzilla is banned.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too, which I think is crazy. Monster X
Do
and Kaiju Ghidorah.
you guys want to rank Des Ghidorah?
I don't really have much of like an opinion. It's been too many years. I don't feel
The
passionate
only
about him
thing I
anyway.
can the only thing I can say about Des Ghidorah is that he's cool. Like, he has a cool design, but that's it.
Yeah, he's cool, but like I don't really have much to say.
Des Ghidorah more like D's nuts.
Like, see that picture of Monster X? That's literally my honest reaction to you making that joke.
Anyways, Monster X, truly iconic.
Yeah, Monster X and Kaiju Ghidorah.
Yeah,
because like I feel like you can't really have one of them without the other.
Iconic, really?
Yes,
They're
Kaiju Ghidorah kicks
okay.
ass.
Okay, fine. I'll let you put him in iconic.
I also feel like Monster X wouldn't be anywhere near as impactful if it weren't for the scene where his fucking wings just like appear out of his back after like the aliens are killed.
Yeah.
Okay,
seeing him transform like that was crazy.
Also, can we talk about how he only goes full out once his cap or once his masters are killed? Does anyone else think that's weird?
So it's actually a really interesting thing about that. Monster X is one of the few characters who genuinely displays true malice throughout the Godzilla series. The only other characters I can think of are the Showa Ghidorah, Destroya, and Space Godzilla.
And Gigan and Megalon and what's it called? Mechagodzilla show up.
No. Actually, no. You can argue that they're only malicious because they're following orders.
They literally get Jet Jaguar. They literally hold him hostage, and then start laughing in Godzilla's face. Mechagodzilla goes out of his way to shove his hand down King Caesar's throat. If that is not purposeful maliciousness, then I don't know what is.
Wait, when does Mechagodzilla do that?
Okay, actually,
you guys don't. That's yeah.
So
you don't know that scene.
Wait. So I forgot about those. Okay, I forgot. It's been a while since I watched Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and Godzilla vs. Megalon.
I don't remember him doing that.
Yeah, those scenes live in my head rent free.
Wait, where he puts his hand in King Caesar's throat, or wait, I'm confused.
Yeah,
he's actively trying to shove his hand down Caesar's throat.
How do I remember this?
Which makes me think he was gonna fire his missiles inside King Caesar's mouth.
I mean, we see where he did the Anguirus.
Yeah, see that too. He even just slams his face down as a taunting thing.
Yeah, keep in mind he beat the shit out of Anguirus, and he didn't even bother using atomic breath. So he purposely held back against Anguirus, but he still fucked them up. Really badly.
I like to think the only reason why Mechagodzilla broke Anguirus' jaw was because when Anguirus scraped off some of that skin, it just pissed him off.
Yeah, that's what I interpret too.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of kaijus being pissed off, one of my favorite, and this is only in the dub because I just watched the subbed version of Godzilla vs. Mothra in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
In the dub version, the scene where Godzilla and Batra are blasting at the Mothra carrier ship, and Godzilla accidentally hits Batra. The one male character goes, "Oh no, they're getting pissed off."
Oh,
I love that so much because it characterizes the monsters and makes me think that Godzilla actually hit Batra, and then Batra got fucking pissed, so he retaliated.
Good to know Batra wasn't going to do jack shit.
Also,
Like, it was
Orga's in
bad.
the house.
Orga is in the house,
Oh.
and we love Orga.
Yeah, Orga's awesome.
Yeah, like,
But
honestly,
fun little
Yeah.
detail about Monster X that I wanted to share.
Mm-hmm.
My first interaction with the character was when I was very young. We went to a comic shop, a comic book store. And in the front of the shop, and on one of the glass displays, display cases, the shop owner had a Kaiser Ghidorah statue. And I know it was Kaiser Ghidorah. I know it was Kaiser Ghidorah because I could tell by the heads and the rivets of the body. It looked like it was made out of metal, actually. But I distinctly remember me tugging on my mom's shirt, going, "Mom, look, it's Kaiser Ghidorah."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, Kaiser Ghidorah and the Monster X are some of the figures that I wanted the most as a kid, and I own both of them now.
I'll have them one day. It's probably gonna take a while, but I'll have them in my collection one day. Something I want to say real quick about Orga.
Oh, also.
Yeah?
Orga, more like Vorga.
Okay, okay, yeah, moving on.
Nah, just kidding. We love Orga.
Atlas, you want to know what I think of that Orga joke?
I don't care. That was funny.
Okay, quickly. I'm just gonna quickly say what I want to say about Orga, then we'll move on to Megagearus. I didn't care that much about him too much growing up, but Atlas, you explain me the whole lore with like his aliens. Did I say war or lore?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
One day we got to do a discussion about the Millennium aliens. I think they're really cool.
So where do you guys want to put Megagearus?
I love Megagearus.
Yeah, I like Megagearus a lot.
I love Megagearus.
Like that. Okay, so the theme Godzilla vs. Megagearus in the Godzilla vs. Megagearus film is the most underrated theme in the entire Godzilla franchise.
Oh yeah, absolutely. One of my other favorite pieces is soundtrack. Okay, that's going a little too far, but
wait, what did he say?
No, it's
one
true.
of the most
Final
underrated pieces of music.
Like, isn't
cinema?
Like Godzilla vs. Megagearus?
Yes, it is. It is.
Isn't Godzilla vs. Megagearus the only one where they had a female composer?
No, she composed most of the Millennium movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the Millennium movies have fucking amazing soundtracks.
Yeah, they slap.
Oh wait, the rare one.
Also, I love how this movie brings back the Meganulon from Rodan.
Mm-hmm.
And makes them not boring.
I'm gonna pretend that you didn't say that.
Well, I thought even the original they were pretty creepy.
Yeah, they were cool, but in terms of
what the fuck?
What?
What the
hold on.
fuck?
Let me finish my thoughts on Megagearus. One of my other favorite pieces of soundtrack from that movie is the scene where they have the little submersible with the camera going down the flooded streets of Tokyo, and you see the eggs everywhere. I thought that was so creepy, but so cool, that little piece of music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or that suspenseful moment when they, what's it called? Fucking murder those two people on the streets.
Oh, no, that was a different, that was a different scene. But yeah, that scene was really cool too. It was very gruesome. I'm not really used to seeing that in a Godzilla movie, but it was definitely a fresh take. It sucks that movie didn't really do that well.
Yeah. So now that we're done on Mega Gears, Grombeck, what the fuck are you actually thinking? What kind of steroids you're on? Jet Jaguar's I fucking love Jet Jaguar.
I did not know that. Wow, that's actually news to me.
I'm gonna be honest.
Love Jet Jaguar.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not have that much attachment to Jet Jaguar.
Same.
Like, don't get me wrong. I grew so Godzilla vs. Megalon is one of the Godzilla movies I've watched the most ever. Simply because I watched it all the time as a kid. My aunt had it on VHS. She had the VHS cover of Godzilla and Megalon fighting on top of the Twin Towers, which, oof, that aged like milk. But I just don't have that much attachment to Jet Jaguar. I think he's cool. And I understand why people love him, but he is just not the one I love. But I am willing to put him and we love him.
Well,
I like that. I like that. Cause like I always loved Jet Jaguar as a kid, and his goofy ass design. I just like it. I like the goofy ass design.
How do I not remember that?
How do you not remember that? You're a really fucking terrible brother.
Okay,
Fuck
so
you.
This one, I think we should all be in agreement in. We either iconic or we love him.
The worst, obviously. Nah, I'm kidding.
Oh shit, you're right. All right, moving on.
I'm half tempted to put. I honestly kind of want
to. Whoa, ground down. What? No.
You know what? You're right. Bad, definitely bad. All right, for real though.
Brownback, you should be sent to the guillotine. You should
Okay,
be sent to the guillotine right now.
fine. I'll put him above Vanilla. Are you happy?
Yes. Megalon is. Well, I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say that a lot of people haven't already said about him. He has one of the most original designs of any Godzilla monster.
Yeah, he
is a fan favorite who has appeared in multiple games. He's appeared very frequently in the comics. He's only ever made one appearance in a movie, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, he pretty much has all the advantages that Gigan has.
Yeah, he really does, and he oozes personality.
Yeah.
And I personally like to consider where Convex is to Gigan, I am to Megalon.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, basically.
There's one more thing you guys have to know though before I move on to the next one. You know what it is? It has to do with what I am.
What?
It has to do with what I am.
Oh, what are you?
Oh my god. I love that.
It would have been funny if you screamed at
so
the top
much.
yelling just off, so I'm not gonna lie. Here. I can
One
do it.
day-
I can do
one
it.
day-
I'll tell you what I am.
Yeah.
I am Megalon!
Yeah.
One day we will do a video where I do that impression.
Yeah. So who will win? Who will win? Two VTuber like cat girls making out with each other, or Megalon?
I am Megalon.
Yeah. Maybe the real Megalon was the friends we made along the way.
You're so cringe. Oh my god.
Alright. King Seaside.
Also, wait, what the
Before we move on to Megalon, before we move on from Megalon, the one thing I do want to say regarding Megalon, in the game Godzilla Kaiju Daikason, he actually has my second favorite stage theme, which is the theme is called Endless Wilderness. And it is my second favorite to Biolante. Go figure.
Alright.
Okay,
I
so
also
now that
love
we're at King
Megalon's
Caesar, tell us that
I also love Megalon's victory animation in that game where he scrapes his his drills together.
Convex, these are both King Caesars, by the way. From that like YouTube series.
I know. What? Why? Why did they turn King Caesar into a bunny girl?
Don't know and don't care. Let's figure what we rank 1974 King Caesar.
74 or 2004
I like
best design.
Ew, no. His 2004 design is ass.
Ew, no. What the fuck?
He literally
that's horrible.
He literally looks like the lion Shay Shay, I believe it's called. Shay Shay? Shay Shay?
Well, it did
Okay,
not
that's
work
cool
in that
and all. It
movie.
doesn't change the fact
Even
he
as a
looks
kid,
like
I
ass.
hated how King Caesar looked.
I thought that design.
Yeah, like-
I love that design. Whatever.
His
Fine.
name is Cancer. Although I do like the fact that he uses Angus as a kickball. I like that, but that's it.
Fine. Diplomacy wins.
And anything you guys want to
Yes,
say about King
common
Caesar, or
diplomacy.
should we move on to the next one?
I think his like a power mimicking like beam attack is kind of cool, and
Yeah.
I also like how he gets absolutely fucked by, what's it called, Mechagodzilla.
Did you seriously just forget Mechagodzilla's name?
I didn't. I said
I
like the
really
fact that he
liked
gets absolutely
how, like,
fucked
King
by
Caesar
Mechagodzilla.
put up a good fight against what was his name again? Metal Godzilla. Yeah, that's it.
Shut up!
What was his name? Oh yeah, Cosmic Monster, right? Yeah. Or was it Bionic Monster?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's the Titanium Zoid. That's its name.
Holy shit! It's the Dragon Zord.
Oh fuck! He's fighting the
Dragon Zord.
All right. We're losing brain cells.
Personally, I like King Caesar.
Yeah,
I think he's
here.
cool.
Like, again, he was one of the first kaiju I ever saw, and like I saw like his film before I got run the main Rodan ones, right? Like Shaw Rodan. So after Anger's, I always associate King Caesar as like Godzilla's like, like his like like best supporter. And that might still be true now I think about it, since Rodan and Godzilla usually hate each other in most of the films.
Okay, so actually, there is one thing I want to say. There is one thing I want to say about King Caesar that I need to share with you guys. So, there was a Godzilla story that I was writing. It never really went anywhere, so I never finished it. It was basically a comprehensive timeline of every single Godzilla monster showing up and attacking, kind of similar to the prequel novel for the anime trilogy. But it had specific times, specific dates, like very specific locations, accurate death tolls. But in King Caesar's chapter, he shows up and he is a protector of mankind. First kaiju to ever be like that. And he blatantly rises up against Godzilla, who has established himself as the king of the monsters, and all the monsters obey Godzilla. And what happens to King Caesar is fucking brutal. But Godzilla shows up in Okinawa and fights King Caesar. But on top of that, Anguirus, Kamacuras, Humunga, Titanosaurus, Gorosaurus, and Rodan and Manda all show up as well and fight King Caesar along with Godzilla.
Holy shit. Oh, wow.
And you guys want to know how the chapter ended? The chapter ended with all of the monsters circling around an injured King Caesar and closing in on him as King Caesar roared out in agony for the final time.
That's a weird way of saying it ends with King Caesar taking out the auction destroyer and taking out all of them.
Okay,
King
I like that a
Caesar
lot. I like that a
literally
lot.
King Caesar literally got circled like a pack by like he was a he got circled by basically a pack of raptors, like Jurassic Park style.
Okay, I know a lot of people already like compare Kong and Caesar for some reason, but like holy shit, now we have King Caesar even does the whole define the king thing better than Godzilla, or not Godzilla, King Kong.
Yeah. Yeah, you should continue
Yeah,
writing
yeah, he defied the
Atlas.
king. He in my story, he defied the king and he paid for it.
Yeah, so I think that it's
So
probably
that's
my new
basically fan
favorite
fiction, right?
interpretation of a Caesar. I don't know how I feel about the rest of them. Because, like, even though I like the idea of Godzilla being a king, I prefer if, like, the other kaiju still hate him and try to kill him. But, like, you know, like, not the worst.
Yeah.
Mogira.
Yeah. Just continue writing them.
Mogira.
Oh, I always really liked Mogira as a kid. Really liked
You
him.
know, Mogira is actually my second favorite mech from the Godzilla.
So are you putting him in Relove Him or Iconic?
I call it iconic.
Iconic is a little too much. I think we love them is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like him. I like him more than Jet Jaguar, but I'm willing to compromise.
Yeah, like
I'm willing to put him ahead of Jet Jaguar.
Oh, okay, that works.
And while we're at it, can we also put King Caesar in front of Jet Jaguar?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Oh, you are? Oh, that makes it less fun.
Can we also move Cyberzilla to the back?
I am fine with that too.
Yeah.
Alright,
Can we also move Hedorah to the very back? I'm just kidding.
No.
Although I do like all the other ones.
Ebra. I forget which one you liked the best, Atlas. Was it Showa or Final Words?
Showa.
Yeah, same.
So...
Yeah, same. Mid-City, here we come.
I'm putting him not the best, not the worst. I'm thinking.
I want to put him and We Love Him.
Look, dude, like Godzilla vs. Sea Monster is one of the ones I grew up with, but like even I don't like him that much.
So okay, listen, hear me out here. All right. The reason why is I love Hedorah, or I keep wanting to say Hedorah. I love Ebra Horror of the Deep. I thought it was a very fun movie, and it is one of the movies that I go back to the most, just to put on, have some background noise. I love the soundtrack. I love the story of it. I thought it was a very different, very interesting Godzilla movie. But one of the main reasons why I love Ebra so much is my ex. She did not know anything about Godzilla. So I would show her these pictures of these monsters, and, she would always just kind of go with it. But the one monster she always liked the most was Ebra. And that just kind of left an impression on me and made me soften up to the character. So, while I understand you guys don't care for Ebra, for me, this is personal.
Like, I have, like, a soft spot because Sea Monster was one of the main films I grew up and watched as a kid. And I'm like, I do think one of the things you said about the movie is true.
If above anything else, can we at least put them in We Love Them?
Only if Convex is okay with it. It's your call, Convex.
It's just the most mid monster ever. Okay, I respect being able to put meaning and being able to find enjoyment in something super boring and meaningless. I respect that kind of ideology. So, yeah, we can put him in We Love Him.
At the minimum, he is, like, I actually would argue, like, growing, like, nowadays, like, I would say he's actually more goofy than boring.
And if anything, he is pretty much the embodiment of the early Showa monster design of taking an actual animal but blowing it up and making it bigger.
Yeah.
Taking an animal,
And convex,
make it big.
convex. If you want to like make it more interesting, one, look at his goofy eyes, and more importantly, think about his cry. Think about his roar.
He does have a really cool
Yeah,
look.
they do.
Can we please put him in front of Godzilla?
I'm not gonna go that far.
Fine. I'll take what I can get.
Yep.
Yeah. No. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Oh no. Can we just skip the next two?
Oh,
Yeah,
skip
sure.
the next two. My genuine favorite monsters.
What?
No.
Buddy,
Amanda?
buddy. It's just a coincidence. There's a coincidence.
Yeah, just a coincidence. My ass.
Okay, fine. I'll put both of them in like the top. Okay? Are you happy? Please don't get mad at me.
Better.
Also, like Atlas, is your favorite element water by any chance?
Yeah, actually.
Convex, like I know we can't see your face right now, but I know right now you have a face of like genuine shock. Yet you had no idea.
I definitely haven't been talking to Atlas, and I definitely did not know that he likes water.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, anyways,
so shocked.
Atlas, it's
And-
your time to shine. Tell us about your favorite kaijus.
So, I already talked about Titanosaurus with my whole spiel on Terror of Mechagodzilla as a movie. But Manda, admittedly, there really isn't a reason behind Manda. I, as a person, love snakes. Snakes are my favorite animals. And above all else, my favorite mythological creatures are sea serpents. I just always found them so interesting, so unique. They weren't boring like dragons. They were longer, slender, elegant. And with Manda, Manda kind of embodies those things. He's a very different monster. Like Mothra, he was worshipped by the Mu Empire as basically a god. Which is really cool. I like monsters who kind of have like that mythology behind them. Final Wars is my favorite design, but Destroy All Monsters is the one that was my introduction to the character. Specifically in Godzilla's Revenge, I would always get excited seeing Manda slither out of his cave.
Same.
Or in Destroy All Monsters, the attack on Tokyo. When I finally watched that movie for the first time, I thought seeing Manda was awesome. Final Wars, I hate that they kill Manda off, but that opening scene
They do
was
it in a
really
cool way.
cool, nonetheless. Yeah.
You want to know something weird?
Oh, also, little weird thing I did as a kid, but in Godzilla Save the Earth, in the Final Wars gallery, I think Manda's concept art was the one I looked at the most.
But, you want to know something weird though about Final Wars Manda?
What?
So just like you, when I was a
Oh,
kid,
what?
I was also really pissed about like him getting killed up so easily. But I had this, I had the weirdest, like, I would have the weirdest daydreams about it. So like, you know how I would cope with how like Manda was killed super early?
Yeah.
Basically, I would daydream that even after like they like turned the ice and they completely destroyed him with the drill, Manda was still alive, but from like that point on, he was just always invisible.
Oh.
Not a ghost, but he was just
Snake
invisible.
is invisible.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, I finally own a Final Wars Manda figure, and I'm going to be entirely honest. This is my most prized possession.
I did not even
I,
know those existed.
yeah, it actually just came out. Bandai released a Final Wars Manda figure.
Oh
Um,
wait, did we talk about this in DMs? Because if we did, I actually might remember this.
yeah, we did.
Alright, I'll have to
But
check it out afterwards.
I own a Final Wars Manda figure now. It is not the best. It's not the worst. It's actually pretty good. Pretty detailed. Um, but I love Manda. There's not really a whole lot to say beyond that. Big snake.
Yeah,
Um,
I respect that. Just be an unapologetic like Manda supporter. You know what?
yeah, yeah, it
We need to do
pretty
this
much
right.
is.
We need to do this right. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
To be fair, it's convex. It's Groundback's channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So when Gromback used that argument before, okay. So now,
No. Comments. Let's be real here. Like, I know this looks like a joke, but I have it centered or ordered as if how important they actually are. Because let's be real here, Godzilla, literally the entire franchise is about him. Angers because it's my channel. But let's be real here. In terms of like the hierarchy of like the people like in the Godzilla videos, Atlas definitely took priority over you.
Oh.
Oh well, at least I'm still the best person on your channel as a whole.
Okay, that's it. Tyrannosaurus is the buff guy again now too, buddy.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Actually, you know what? You know what? Yeah, that feels better.
Oh. Hey, while you're at it, can you move Biollante ahead of Mechagodzilla?
Sure. Actually, first.
I hate you.
Ahead of Gaigan. Alright.
Oh, you had to individually put it ahead of Gaigan. Just to really okay. Yeah.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but mentally I feel a lot better all of a sudden. I'm not sure why.
Okay, I'm gonna subject you to 30 seconds of Titanosaurus's glass-shattering roar.
Hey, look, it's Gorosaurus. What's like about that instead of convex?
Nope, that's a Domino's ad. Okay, never mind.
So, Gorosaurus is... My introduction to Gorosaurus was Godzilla's Revenge, also.
Same.
I did not actually see Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. I did not see Destroy All Monsters until I think I was like 13, and it was added to Hulu. Seeing him attack Paris for the first time outside of like James Rolfe's Destroy All Monsters video was awesome. And then he does the kangaroo kick on King Ghidorah and knocks him over, which is what gets King Ghidorah killed.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Sorry,
I'm not
him in. We love him.
His only
Iconic.
Truly iconic.
No, everyone love him. No, he's not iconic. His kick
He
is
is
cool,
like
but, like he's
okay.
just a dinosaur.
Convex. Think about this from the perspective of the like community. Think about how big of a deal it was when there was finally like a new Gorosaurus figure being made. And think about like how much he was requested in Monster Island Buddies and how popular Gorosaurus is currently. Even though he's like just like a dinosaur, but he's,
if we don't even want to talk about the fan base, think about it like this, Convex. Gorosaurus's one move on King Ghidorah sentenced the space dragon to death.
Yeah, well, you know what? He got like destroyed by everyone in that movie. That movie was dedicated to
Convex. If you actually watch the film, most of the monsters like Rodan, like Mothra, and Kumonga actually did jack shit. It was literally just Godzilla, Gorosaurus, or Anguirus who did anything. And then Manoa
And
signed his name on the paper.
on
That
top of
fight
that,
in Destroy All Monsters.
guys, before we even fight, on top of that, in the beginning of the fight when Ghidorah was standing, most of the monsters couldn't even do anything to Ghidorah because he was fighting them off. When Gorosaurus landed that devastating kangaroo kick, it opened Ghidorah up to everyone.
Yeah. And look at it from this perspective, context.
That fight was literally...
The comics. Look at it from this perspective, alright? So, like, think of it from the writer's point of view. You have Rodan, you have Mothra, and you have, like, other kaiju who didn't really do much, like Baragon or Varan. But the writers thought that Gorosaurus was cool enough and iconic enough for him to have such a major role in the fight.
And then on top of that, I love Gorosaurus' color scheme. The light blues. Oh, he's so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't really give me like Alice Swords vibes, but to be fair, this is like the 1960s. They didn't really know how to make like accurate looking dinosaurs yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets a pass. Yeah. Like, you know what? Comics. I can compensate. Wait, do you guys want me to compensate to like make Convex happy? You know, I was trying to put him above Mechagodzilla, but we'll just do that.
Yeah. Let's go up to...
No, we won't. Okay, fine. I am curious how long this video is going to be.
Oh, it's going to be a long one.
Oh, yeah, we've been going here for like 3 hours.
Varan.
I think we only have like 2 major monsters left. Varan.
Or let's see here. After Varan and Kamacuras, I'm assuming like the Mutos and like Skullcrawlers have like enough.
No,
let's just actually, in all honesty, let's just not do the MonsterVerse ones.
Okay, so then
like,
just
let's not do MonsterVerse.
Let's keep this like explicitly Toho, since Toho is the longest running.
Yeah, that's fair. But if that's the case, then we gotta talk about Man-Eating Plant, baby. Man-Eating Plant.
No. Well, okay, no.
Actually, no. Man-Eating Plant's kind of base.
Yeah, we're putting it in the worst. Anyways, go back down.
I don't know. Man-Eating Plant's kind of based.
Oh, no, he eats man, not just kids.
Yeah,
so Varan, Kumunga, and Kamacuras are the last ones, right?
No, there's more below them.
No, but the ones below aren't really super
iconic,
and like
the
comics
ones that haven't been in
like,
Godzilla films.
Yeah, we don't have any like major like attachments to like any of like the space amoeba guys or whatever.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and this
what about Salunga?
Wait. I do want to rank Ghidorah.
Just Ghidorah and not the other.
Ghidorah is...
well, okay, if we're gonna rank Ghidorah, let's just rank Kamuebus and Gainame.
Yeah, that's only fair.
Okay, but let's just do this real quick then.
Okay,
because I do actually have some thoughts about Ghidorah just because of the...
So this is the one problem I have with doing these videos, is you guys always want to rush it at the end. Let's just continue on, okay? And be fair to these characters. So, Varan. I think Varan is the most underrated monster in the entire series.
I think that's fair.
I think he has the most original design, one of the most iconic designs, one of the most iconic roars, and some of the most interesting abilities of any kaiju. His movie is not the best.
I agree with most of those, except for the roar. Not that the roar isn't cool, but isn't like the roar also would be shared with both like Showa Baragon and Gorosaurus?
Yes, but keep in mind that they came after Varan.
You know what? That's fair.
The idea of a creature that can swim underwater and can submerge itself underwater, can travel on land, and can glide by separating hydrogen from oxygen. really, really cool. Um, Beyond that, he doesn't really have a lot, but I'm just an unwavering Baron supporter. Um, so I know you guys are probably going to dispute him being iconic, but I'm willing to compromise and put him in We Love Them.
Wait, there's only one problem I have with him putting him in truly
Yeah, I'm okay with
iconic. And the issue is that I don't think he could be both ironic, or not ironic, iconic and underrated at the same time.
I mean, I think he can, because, like, look at How I See Manda. But, I mean, that's also biased, so.
But, yeah, it's a personal rating, but yeah, I'm fine with We Love Them. I think it's a fine
I
rating.
agree he's like the most like underrated of all time, because he admittedly is very interesting, and he's the only kaiju that like had his own movie that Toho seemed to forgot about, which is weird.
Mm.
But
yeah, 'cause it's not like
yeah,
was even that good.
like, I don't know. Just for me, like I just like I just like how like underrated is. Like I like keep it to like the most like I don't know, it's almost like a philosophy sort of where like I'm not really sure what can really be considered underrated, because like this is unrelated, but like let's say like Qui-Gon, like for years some people were like Qui-Gon should have gotten a Mega Evolution, he's so underrated, and while it's true, but if everyone's saying he's underrated, is the Pokemon even underrated at that point? Because it sounds like he's really popular and liked by a lot of people.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess. Umanga.
I personally like Final Wars the best, because I actually thought his fight with Godzilla was entertaining, even if it was very short.
Yeah, same. Final
Personally, as much as I like the Final Wars design, I like the Showa one more. Him in Son of Godzilla was terrifying to me as a child, and is still at best creepy even as an adult. And the music, that whirring, whining sound for his soundtrack, is very ominous. And he's one of the few Showa monsters to, not counting the Mega Nulon or whichever other monsters I'm forgetting about right now. He's one of the few to go after the human characters, like, purposefully.
Oh yeah, I never really thought about it that way.
Also, the Showa Kumonga has purple eyes.
They look kind of blue right here, though.
I know.
Yeah, so are we going
There
with
we
this
go,
one?
again with the purple.
But you convinced me on Showa. Just which one do you want to use?
I'd like to Destroy Monsters one. Actually, no. Son of Godzilla.
Yeah. Now you sold me. What about you, Convex?
I like We Love Them. I think that'd be a good pick for Kumonga.
Yeah, he is a spider.
I think manga is the big mid, but.
I mean, to be fair, between like the three big mids between Kamacuras, Ebra, and Kumonga definitely put up the biggest fight and was seen as the biggest threat.
Oh, I love Kamacuras.
Yeah, I like Kamacuras too. Never got a figure, but I definitely enjoyed using any Primantis toy I had and using that as Kamacuras.
I have a Kamacuras figure, and I've actually planned on. I kind of want to buy the YMSF one, and then if someone were to ever come out with a third Kamacuras, I'll buy that one too.
Holy shit!
That way I can
you know how like there's gonna be a Godzilla film later this year?
What?
Like, what if the film's gonna be Godzilla versus Mecha Kamacuras?
Ew! Why? Shut up. Anyways.
Kamacuras. Kamacuras is cool.
I like Kamacuras. There's not really a whole lot to say. I love his music in Son of Godzilla also. I love how rhythmic it is. And I actually, on the occasion, I find myself humming that theme every now and then. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of my thought on Macros. I think we should go We Love Them, since all of us kind of like them.
Yeah, I mean, like, first of all, Millennium or Showa?
Showa's the best, in my opinion.
I think Millennium, but I'm okay with Showa.
Like, honestly, like, since we already put Ebra and, like, Kumonga and We Love Them, it would be kind of mean, not that include.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think Kamakuris is more or less mid than Kumonga.
Also, because I really want to have at least something in every tier. I'm
saving something. I'm saving something for that bad tier.
Oh, you're cooking. All right.
Wait,
well, I don't think we have. Let him cook. But I don't really think we have any other monsters that besides maybe the space amoebas.
I mean, like, if you want to do Gazor, then like we need to do all of them. But then they'll probably
yeah, we need to do all of them.
Yeah,
but
so like Convex, are we doing all of them or none of them?
None of them. They're just almost all of them are just kind of mid or whatever.
Oh,
I don't have any
Okay, I don't think they're mid. Wait, have you even seen the movie?
I don't think they're mid, but they're okay. I don't feel strongly about them. I just kind of would just let you guys do your own thing.
Okay, well that's you.
Oh, wait, where's Mechanicong? We never actually ranked Mechanicong.
He's actually right there next to.
Yeah, I see him right here.
There was another thing. We haven't done Gabra.
Oh, was he the one you wanted to put in bad?
Yeah, we didn't do Gabra.
The Gabra is one that I do have feelings for, since, okay, I worded that wrong. I meant, because
and then on top of that,
you have feelings for Gabra? That's so...
On
not
top
really
of that,
adorable, but it's there.
I wanted to do the other monsters to also kind of fill out this tier list.
Well, I'm okay with doing the 3 space guys. So,
alright, yeah, we can do them.
Yeah, Convex, you just start going on Gazora, since, he's the one you really care about.
Okay, Gazora. Okay, it's mostly just because the NES creepypasta, which I'm really passionate about, and Gazora's theme,
wait,
in the NES game is really good.
Okay, well, I'll agree with you that the NES theme is really good. You like the creepypasta?
Both of us do.
I fucking love the creepypasta.
Oh my god, I thought the creepypasta was cringe.
I fucking love it so much.
Sounds like someone got caught by red.
It's not my favorite.
So, okay, first of all, no, I don't hate the creepypasta just to hate it. The reason why is because I think it takes away from the actual good qualities of the game.
The game is... honestly, the game by itself is fine, but, I like the creepypasta. You know what? The creepypasta is, could be its own video. This thing is already so long. Yeah, I'll just leave it at I really like it.
I will say this, Convex. After, Atlas explained to me, how many references are actually in the Monsters game, it actually made me appreciate it a lot more. And actually,
did you know, Convex, did you know Matango and Dogora are actually in Monsters?
I think so.
Did you know that Manda was in the game?
Yeah, I think Manda's familiar.
Did you know the Super X was in the game?
Oh yeah, I was like, what's it called?
Did you know the Keylog Fire Dragon was in the game?
Yeah, actually I did know that. It's in one of the... I think it's on one of the levels in Mars.
No, it's a reoccurring enemy.
Yeah, when we say things appear in the game, we're not talking about the main monsters. We're talking about the enemies that you probably thought were just weird ass Nintendo generic stuff. Also, for the space people, this is what I have. Gazora, because obviously he's most iconic. I think all of us here like him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Gazora's awesome.
Yeah, Kabuabus, he's like the one that like everybody has the most.
Wait, did
sympathy
you
for.
say Gazora's Besson?
No.
Wait, I thought Atlas just said Gazora's Besson.
I think you're suffering from brain damage.
I
Yeah,
definitely, I said Ghidorah is the best one, but if you wanna go and say Ghidorah or Ghidorah is Bussin, yeah, we can say Ghidorah is Bussin.
Oh no, we can definitely tell Comics is a creepypasta fan if he's saying Gazora is Bussin.
Bussin.
Alright, so
I also really like Kamuabus. I thought it's really cool to see a turtle kaiju.
and I feel bad for him in both like his original film and Tokyo SOS.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, meanwhile this guy's
cool
creepy,
turtle thing.
but like I kinda like it. But not enough to where like I love him.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like Dyname is creepy, but meh. Otherwise.
Okay,
Also, are we gonna rank Giant Condor?
No. I don't think any of us have passionate feelings towards him.
It's a condor. It's just a giant condor. That's it.
Now, granted, if we had the giant claw, he would be beating
like
Godzilla's
condors.
ass as like the most personal favorite. You don't fuck
Oh,
with the
shut
giant claw.
up! I hate the Giant Claw.
Well, you
That
know
thing
what?
is so ugly.
You know what? The giant claw hates you, and he thinks you're ugly.
You're ugly. You smell bad, stinky.
What is the giant claw?
Oh, I'm going to teach you about this later today. But
Groundback, we all know Reptilicus is the better flying monster.
I can either confirm or deny that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so...
Oh my god.
Wait, did you look it up?
I've seen the giant claw.
You looked up?
Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Oh
the
no!
giant claw. Now it's not
It's as big as a battleship.
It really is as big as a battleship. Oh, Convex, you're gonna love the map scene where they actually had to draw a route. If you see that, you're gonna love that. Alright,
Oh my
but
gosh.
maybe that'll be a sequel one day. Maybe one day we'll do, like, Godzilla characters based on if they can beat the giant claw.
You know what I think we could do as a really cool, like, a tier list for, like, old 50s monsters? Like, not Godzilla ones, but, like...
Yeah, like classic monsters.
Yeah, like, the Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, and... Well, I never said you were gonna be in the video, Convex.
Yeah, he never said you were invited.
Fuck you.
Honestly,
Fuck you. I'm not inviting you to my Godzilla Smasher Pass.
What the fuck would I want to be a part of that? Who the fuck looks at a Godzilla monster and goes, yeah, I tapped that? Like, don't get me wrong. Fucking Titanosaurus is walking around with the biggest cake of anybody, but it doesn't mean that I want to smash it.
I never noticed that Titanosaurus.
No, here's the context. There, like, we already went over this earlier in the video. There was, like, literally, like tens of, like, hundreds of, like a whole bunch of people. And, like, in the films, there's, like, a whole bunch of beautiful models that they have, or, yeah, like, actual models, like, actors they have for, like, their films. You want to fuck the suits.
Yeah, you wanna fuck the giant monsters. Okay.
Yeah. You look at, like,
Like,
Super
Titanosaurus
Godzilla's
is
thighs
kinda
from, like,
big
Super
up.
Godzilla,
I'm
and you
gonna-
literally kick
I'm
it.
just saying.
Convex, I'm gonna have to see that monster fucker permit.
Well, Atlas, you're gonna have to see that. I'm just gonna have to see convicts in bars.
Oof.
Yeah, Dude,
Okay, well, you know.
No, like, convicts would be the type of person who would make a tweet being like, my horny ass could not work at, like, a nuclear factory.
Honestly, for real. You know what this reminds me of? This is giving me flashbacks to the Lady Dimitrescu thing all over again.
Oh, boy. Well, this was a way to end it. I can't say it's a good way, but... Yeah,
Hey, I got a
there's
free
really no
advertisement
positive
for
way to
one of
spin
my
this.
channel.
I'm usually an optimist. Yeah, no, Convex ruined it.
Okay,
Hey,
wait,
I got
hold on.
some free
Before we end the video, can we go to chat? I want to show. I found a picture of Convex.
Oh boy. Hey, let's take a look at this. There we go.